Yo, we back again with watching pro play.
They made decisions that the community wasn't a fan of, but the result has brought them here on this stage against one another in Tokyo.
Oh man, you can feel the energy in this room. It's actually quite fascinating. You know, we've done so many of these events in the past where group stage games have a tendency, you know, people kind of rolling in a little bit later. I am not gaslighting anyone here. We have a capacity crowd here in the arena. It is surrounded, and this is pressure because this is more players, more fans than these guys probably have ever had a chance to play in front of before.
Yeah, exactly, but they had the perfect practice. We're talking about we have been playing in LAN the entire year.
100%.
So, of course, the pressure is here. There is a lot of fans and a lot of people. The entire world is watching. No more regions. It's about being the best.
It absolutely is. And both these teams have known this matchup for a while. They knew this was coming after qualifying. And both these squads are known for their preparation, for putting in the enemy strats ahead of
Nice.
time. So I'd expect
Making sure I'm getting myself situated for what I'm about to watch.
prepared for us here in Japan.
Oh, we got split first. Let's go.
Select here for Foot Esports versus Evil Geniuses. Foot will be on the defense, as you can see. EG on the attack. And yeah, I mean, you know, again, overall, I will say I do like the Cypher pick there for Foot. I like that, you know, that they're really just going to try and see if they can lock down some of those sites.
Yeah, we were talking about some teams having a testing period for Foot and on Split. It was a little bit about that until we got to playoffs. Then they started playing this composition. They move away from the Raze. They tried some Sage, some double initiator, double info, but they stick with this one because of the power that they've seen of Cypher in the region.
On this defensive side, this double initiator comp is also excellent at re-clearing space. This team loves using that KO knife or a Skydog in the mid-round to re-clear. So EG's mid-rounding on attack is going to be very important, and in that, the pressure is on Boostio, SCIGL, but also Ethan. EG has talked so much about what he adds as a player, the experience, the flexibility, and in the solo initiator meta that's been so prevalent in Americas, he is going to be so important.
And the defense from both of these teams are so different in a map that might seem so linear. Of course, having that double controller, we know that the Viper is going to be in charge of mid, but actually for EG, it's about both.
While we're doing this, I'm gonna send my footage over to my laptop. I literally just found out that Potter is the coach for EG, and I lost my shit when I found out.
Much success on it. 20% win rate there right now. Haven't really managed to find that big win. 1 in 4 in their record, but they have stuck to this composition, and I think it has been the best look for them when they are playing this double initiator.
Yeah, and we didn't have a chance to talk about during the map veto, but of course, for Foot, it was a situation of pick your poison. You know that your split is not very strong, but are you really going to leave that fracture open? Yeah. A map that we only saw once from you, just because you were playing against Navi, and you know, it's Navi in the Euro. But I think that this was the smart decision. So they knew this, as you were saying, Mimi, way beforehand, so they have to be prepared for this split.
All right, well, we're all set to go, everyone, and it's time to send it over to your casters who have always said they're big in Japan. It's, of course, my homies, Doug and Bala.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy. Welcome to an
Oh my god, look at how
setting
tiny
at
he
Tipstar
is.
Dome in Japan. Bala, we've got a banger of a matchup, and you and I were talking about it prior to the throw. The storyline for both of these teams and how they've gotten here is just so unique, but also so poetic. Like, this feels like how we were supposed to start.
It's similar to, for both of these teams as well, kind of some Cinderella stories, I think, for both. Expectations were low for both these teams at the beginning of the season. Lock-in happens, that gets shifted a little bit, Foot rises a little bit, but they both come in and actually qualify to Tokyo, which was completely unexpected. When you actually have to qualify for a global event, it happens. And this is the first Turkish team in a long time to have done that.
And the stakes are interesting, too, as we think about what's kind of up for play here. You think about EG, they're set for a little while, but for Foot in particular, they're not qualified for anything beyond this. This tournament means so much for them.
It's really different in that regard. None of the EMEA teams have qualified for champions yet, whereas all the other regions, both for Pacific and Americas, have already done that. So there's a little bit more pressure, I think, for Foot. And all the EMEA teams as well, really interested to see how this opener and the opening match of Tokyo goes.
Just a few moments away from seeing how things are going to kick off. This best of 3 is going to have split the appetizer. EG on the attacking side. They run that double duelist comp, which has become so common in America, so common for Evil Geniuses. Meanwhile, Foot not having the same. They're just running the jet.
The differences in meta in all the different regions finally going to come head to head. starting off immediately on the first game.
Dude, why is the quality shit?
And instantly you have some
That's because I'm
control
watching
of
on
this B-main.
Twitch.
You
I
can
should
tell
probably
they're
watch
not
on
interested
YouTube.
in actually taking it. But that quick pace.
I completely forgot that the quality on Twitch is ass,
Already starts
and that I
us
should
off.
probably
You have
watch it
four
on YouTube.
person stack in middle actually for Foot, and they do know that nobody exploded out of B main. It. But that quick pace from EG to take B main already starts us off. You have a 4-person stack in middle actually for Foot, and they do know that nobody exploded out of B main.
And I think they also know, having heard the Trailblazer initially used, now Evil Genius is using their own. That is confirming some info.
It's so far behind.
EG now taking control of 2 spaces, and also this is where Foot was trying to hold on in the early round. So already both sides having pivots planned. And look at this exploration from Demon 1. I know a lot of the focus right now for EG is in this.
I'm gonna have to deal with Twitch.
Start to see some of the spam.
I'm gonna have to deal with quality, dude.
Fall getting peppered. Demon 1 getting the kill. How much more can they find? They've established control on the site. We've got Kiwi close by. Up in
30
heaven
seconds
looking
left.
for a head to take off.
Spike planted.
Nothing found yet. First spike going down, and the numbers on the side of Foot just continue to crumble. Just 2 left here.
Great movement there from Jogamo, and Demon 1 to back him up too. Time is ticking. They've got to get in.
Not a luxury that they have. They have to be patient just when they
Wow.
burn some time. Now Captain falls, and
Wow.
Demon 1 cleans it up. EG get the opening pistol at Masters Tokyo.
Great team play there from EG in the final moments of that round too. But I have to commend them for that initial explosion, that initial split. It was a really good idea. And Foot, you could tell, we're very happy to give up that space.
Right.
But when it came down to actually seeing the info, actually confirming that that happened, the plans, EG was able to actually, during the execute, call audibles. Demon 1 dashing out into a smoke. He stayed alive for so long in that one, and nobody was able to take him down. So first pistol to EG. And it was actually something that they weren't that successful with in Americas, despite their reputation last year. And only 1 sheriff popped up for Foot. It's a very dangerous prospect for this team. They are very good at those ecos because of the sheriffs from cracks, from Kiwi.
Jogger's first burst goes a bit wide. Still picks up the orb though. And off of that, EG happy to reset the map. They still have presence mid, courtesy of Boostio. And they have some info from Com.
Right now, Foot really not trying to disrupt these rotates that EG are calling. Both of these first rounds, EG has been able to rotate at about the 1 minute mark and go take more control and finally get towards their plan. And here's well, they put Demon 1 in B main late. So they're really, really understanding how and where the information these players are going to be playing from Foot. Rotate
Foot was
at
so
about the 1
disciplined on
minute
this.
mark.
I thought they'd move a little bit sooner once they saw the Viper orb go through, but they stay. And meanwhile, they're staying. EG has already gotten out onto the site. Ethan getting the spike down. Now the members of Foot start to arrive. Spam through the smoke. Nothing landed. No damage dealt.
Regrouping on A ramp here. Boostio has Demon 1 and also Calm way back to throw mollies.
Make sure there's no flank coming in from Spawn.
Eh, fuck it. I want to be able to see what I'm watching. We're gonna watch it on YouTube. I don't care if it's
Regrouping on A ramp
behind.
here. Boostio has Demon 1 and also Calm.
I want to
way
be
back
able to
throw
like
mollies.
watch it clearly.
Make sure there's no flank coming in from Spawn. That's over. Going over from Fallen. Mr. Fallen. A little bit more spam through the utility. As Foot are just choosing to be very patient about how they go about this.
Really weren't interested in actually
Damn.
challenging the site there. You could see how slow they were, but Boostio and Calm did such a good job
They
waiting
did
for each other
real.
to
They
get
were
in
really
position
slow there.
to end up fighting, and this will be really, really nice exit from Evil Geniuses. Just maintaining that control that Foot was fighting so hard for and backing up. Now, one thing I want to note is how EG actually approached that A main. It was a long time until that camera went down.
I love
And
how
that's
close
something
they
that
get to their
EG are
monitors.
very,
I think
very
that's so
unfamiliar
interesting.
with, is that Cypher util. It's not something that we see very often in America's League. It's honestly very, very prevalent in EMEA.
You do not see Cypher in
That's something that's
in
really
A.
tough to
You
get
do not
used
see
to early.
Cypher
It's just
in
where's
an
the
A.
camera gonna be, and you can find yourself in a lot of trap plays.
How to handle a job offer when you're
Having international events like this, we see
Shut
these
the
matches and
fuck
these
up.
styles clash on the biggest stage either of these teams have played this year. A little bit pacey from Evil Geniuses. Off of the flash, a great opener for Jogma.
And that right there is punishing the tendencies of Kiwi. He loves to get up on elevated off angles.
Cool.
And just the double satchel immediately punishing.
With a bulldog too. A great start to this third round.
Inserting Demon 1 into B main every single round so far and just leaving him there to end up either lurking or regrouping with the team based off of what Foot are going to do. Especially when you see information here on this A side, that's when you end up re-clearing into B main, and Demon 1 could easily pounce. He's the perfect player for it.
Foot have just been so patient on this defensive side. Knife used.
Forgot my ice maker's working, dude.
They should know he's there, but they don't know that there's help close by. That's the first kill coming through. The second, not landing. Jogma
Damn.
Second on the round.
You really think Demon 1 there is going to be able to take at least one with him, if not both.
Yeah.
And a lot of pressure put on the guy who wasn't even supposed to be here. We really thought he wasn't going to come and play for EG. We thought it was going to be their sub, Reformed, playing here on this stage. But this is a completely different environment. There are so many people in the audience compared to what Demon 1 had to face with on Americas.
See that one-way cage. He tries dumping under off
Won't
of the
be
flash,
saw.
not able to land the shots. Now 13 seconds left. EG still trying to funnel their way through the utility onto the site. Going to be able to do so, but Mach is still being a
That's the plan.
He's still being a menace. Ultimately falls and a golden opportunity.
Okay, what I want is open at 4. I'm gonna get some boba then.
Something about it.
And you think back to the initial entry on this map against Kiwi.
Not
If that
boba.
didn't happen, this would be complete advantage to Foot.
Absolutely.
Huh?
Captain creeping forward around the pillar, right into Ethan's crosshair, right into the third round for EG.
Really tough 1v3.
Should I get coffee? I might get coffee instead.
Early round, things need to be cleaned up for Foot. They need to be more assertive. As of right now, besides that re-clear in B main, that was the only real proactive thing that they've done so
Cafe
far.
latte. Tunpuede.
Have taken down some very
I don't want ice
formidable
cream.
foes on this map. Last 3 times they played against NRG.
Sorry, I'm looking for food right now. I kind of want cake.
Again, this
I have cake here, but I want boba.
so insistent on actually
Gongcha has boba.
As a 4-man death ball. Will EG be aware? The Trailblazer confirming some.
You saw 2 for sure.
Still tucked. Yeah, now they know where he is. He's going to be the first to fall.
And the knife to fall back was not even in time to help Kiwi there. But they do have still 4 sheriffs up.
You mentioned a couple of rounds ago.
Yeah.
Weapons.
70 regular ice.
A
A cheese foam.
They're able to get one onto Bustio.
EG, this is the time right now, this 1 minute mark where they're usually starting to re-clear somewhere else on the map or solidify their plans. Foot have just interrupted that in the same way that they did last round. Can they actually maintain this even situation in terms of the players up and the players alive?
And not only have the timings gone a bit awry, but they've also been able to pick up a weapon that EG dropped in the hands of Cracks for now.
What a good flash as well from Mr. Fallen. He just threw that from spawn into heaven and notes the players inside of mid. But there's nobody here on
I get
A.
something
Still
else
have the
too.
Cypher cam. But EG will be able to get on the site unless they take way too long trying to figure out if there's actually players here, which should be easy to tell once you see that camera. And they have the entry tools as well.
Should I get coffee? I'll get coffee.
They're being careful. They're being very meticulous, very cautious. They invest the showstopper to make sure there's no one on site. Get the spike down.
Do this one.
And once again, we find ourselves in a
Cold.
position where Foot is on a retake.
70.
Moments like that are how you get this lead to balloon if you're Evil Geniuses, is to be very cautious in these situations.
Yeah.
Last time we had an eco like this, Foot was not really insistent on actually fighting the site. This time it looks like they want to, rather than just look for exits.
Nice. Okay,
They're all
we
eyes on
vibing.
Cracks. He's the only one
Yo,
with
what's
a
good,
weapon.
Bullet? How are you? Sorry, I was ordering boba.
There, just 3 left, 4 Foot.
Because what I want to get for like lunch / dinner is not open until 4.
Even one with 2 on the round, 21 HP now. Procs the dash, looking for it. Ethan cleans it up.
Damn,
EG
Ethan.
are up to 4.
Even one's already in content mode. You saw him start to look for the one tap.
Yep. Wait till he starts shooting bodies, and that's how you'll know he's comfortable.
This opening of this game, though, has felt very, very weird.
Yes.
It feels like the things that both sides are planning end up coming to a head. But EG always a step ahead, right? Already ready to pivot to the next step. Ready to
Wait, Nani.
clear. I mean, the Trailblazers have been perfect. That round specifically, noting that there was mid presence. Let's see how things shift here. Looks like they want to go aggro against Calm, but he's already ready with the molly to push off Kiwi. And that's perfect because that knife was going to keep that wall down. He didn't get suppressed from that.
It is a glass cannon op in the hands of Kiwi, while Demon One is using one of his own.
Attack side up, and you can tell now that that B main insert that he's constantly going for, why they're doing that. Once he gets this off up, that's a great position for it.
He's only been tested once, and it doesn't seem like there's any pressure coming in early in this round.
No way.
Mr. Fallen.
Almost punished Boostio then. That was one of the first times you saw one of the EG players.
I'm doing good. Just been playing a bunch of Street Fighter 6. Also, it's fine. You always gotta have boba. I hardly have boba now since I moved to Korea. Ever since I moved to Korea, I don't get it as much as I used to in the States. I think it's mainly because I just don't go and get it. Because like the closest boba place to me is like over by my job, over by my work, and I don't like going over there.
Just 2 members defending the B site.
So.
For now. Can you imagine the pounce is coming very
short? Yeah. Street Fighter 6, how is it?
Now understanding where the pressure's coming from.
My sister and my dad right now are very into Diablo 4. Like my dad's thinking about buying a new PC because his computer right now cannot handle Diablo 4.
Up in heaven, looking to take someone else down with a Maj with 3 on the round, 13 seconds left, the spike not in hand, and a difficult situation.
Aw, rip.
Not able to convert.
But yeah.
On the board.
Very close
like my sister keeps texting me like, Dad keeps complaining because his computer keeps crashing because it won't run Diablo, and I'm like, well, tell him to get a new computer. Oh, well, he doesn't want to. I was like, he needs to. That computer's old. He's had that computer since 2013, I think.
Spends a second going for his classic to try to break it. Where, by the way, he's the only person because he's alone out. He's the only person that can break that trip for himself. Just didn't realize that Ethan was very busy throwing flashes for his teammates and Giacomo actually entering on the site.
Well, and I think that's where you go back to the conversation we were having earlier around the Cypher and how difficult that can be right into the action. Giacomo again with an opener.
Giacomo's like nuts at raise. It's actually crazy.
They've conditioned the players on foot.
Even one has, oh, there you go. He has Blaze Storm, that's why. I was like, why does he only have a Sheriff?
So you have to be expecting it if you're foot. But once again, an early entry, and they were so good in the Americas League specifically about doing things like that, trapping the players who are
It's extremely fun and very well balanced. That's good.
And out of Captain Falls because of it.
Another numbers disadvantage for foot. They still have the op in the hands of Kiwi, who's currently posted up at A. Giacomo once again exploring the map.
I think one big tell, though, that they have so far, Foot have switched the Cypher from a couple of rounds ago. Obviously, he was there on that B side, but a lot of times that camera was on that A side, so they can.
I still think it's very interesting that that Foot is using Cypher.
Right now.
Demon One popped the blades there. He has a Vandal, but he's choosing to hold on to it.
No command.
This is
Cancel. Yeah, he does.
there it is, but he still has the Vandal. It doesn't matter. It never gets used. Op still in play for Kiwi. Feeling the pressure, finally falling. What can Krax do? Is this a 1v4? Not much more.
And look for a second there that Krax is really going to be able to put a stop to that.
Charges, check. Brakes.
An early shot, good for him, cancels the knives. But EG did such a good job recovering in that situation. Again, so much space given up. They, before even executing, are up in A heaven because of Giacomo's early push up. And then you even have Calm lurking through spawn in that situation. It's well considered. Would love to start seeing a time out here from Foot. Maybe after this eco round.
Playing Pokemon Go, give me a sec.
One thing that we actually
This game, like, Foot versus EG, I do not really care too much about. I care about the next game.
In the MEA League.
The next 2 games are the games I care about the most, actually.
But it still was a pain point. They were consistently having really good starts against some of the best teams in the MEA. But when those starts did not happen, you're looking at, you know, their semifinals game against Fnatic.
Yeah.
Just getting blown out.
Flash once again into garage.
That I love. The flash there from Krax to set the players up on A main past Calm's wall. For the first time, they actually have that space. Calm is freely giving it up, though.
Cosmic Divide invested.
Excuse me.
Dashed out. They're holding on for now.
There's so many Whalmers next to me. Why? Don't want AR.
That movement from Jogmo is great, and Demon 1 follows up after he falls off. They're going to go fast through this, though.
No flash.
Oh, he's high.
Yeah, he is, and he's going to continue to go forward, but EG keeping him back. We settle into a 2v2. The spam from Demon 1 falls.
Damn.
Oh, there's no way you expect him coming from spawn.
Oh, yeah,
You
not
don't
at
expect
all.
him coming
He never
from
had a chance.
spawn.
Bullet into the back of his head secures the round for EG.
And even when these situations get chaotic, Foot not quite able to carry it over the line. There again. You think that initial hold when they flash through that Viper wall, when they have the high knives from Kiwi. I mean, look at it. He's on the screen right now. How are you able to take that down? But because he's not able to connect on some of those kills, that's a big difference.
I love her. I love Porter.
Pulling out the timeout that just came out from Foot, really expecting it.
Come here, Woobat.
And for clarity, right? She's not even talking to her team there. She just knows she's running it through in her own head.
Yep.
And one of the things we noticed from her, she's so planned and prepared for what she's going to talk about during these timeouts. And on the other side, guys, as well, always so animated when he's playing regionally.
Hey, he wears his emotions on his sleeve, doesn't he?
For
You
sure.
know how he feels.
I will always remember when I found out that Potter was EG's head coach. I literally lost my shit. I was like, whoa, Potter? Really?
Yes.
Right? Evil geniuses have been able to apply air.
And then I was like, women. Women.
You actually saw Foot make some good adjustments towards the end of that little streak of rounds.
Sure.
Where there they re-cleared A main, for example. There they also went for that flash through the Cosmic Divide, being more proactive, not giving up so much space constantly. You have to be dueling early to get this util combos out from EG. To make it so they have less tools to really go for their full plans and force them to start to dry walk, because that is where Foot will start to shine when they're... Is he? Oh, okay. I thought he was booted up. Updrafted up on top of that box with an op.
I don't think the knife tagged anyone. You saw Boostio close by. I mean, almost all of EG are in the vicinity.
Holy shit.
Waiting for the first peek. Can Kiwi land the shot? Yes, he can. Demon 1 down.
Important to get Kiwi active. Did do some damage to him. He's going to have to run all the way to the other side of the map to get that heal. And EG are not interested in actually staying there. And I think with that flash, you should expect the op to have fallen off. So I think they're ready to punish. Add a captain in this position.
I was unsure if they knew, but the Trailblazer confirmed. Now Ethan, look at how aggressive.
Oh my god, that flash.
He just goes right into the fight. Punished for it.
That KO flash was nuts.
Have arrived. Add a captain with 2 on the round, off of the flash from Cracks.
That is such beautiful.
But aside from
rotation
SF6, I need to
Cracks as
play Lies of P
Leaving the
demo
space that
sometime.
Kiwi was
What
entering
is that?
and joining
What
back
is
to his
that?
teammate,
I've never
being
heard
able
of
to
that
get
game.
Flash off when there was 2 stars being put down to try to punish.
I haven't heard of a lot of games, if I'm being completely honest. I have not been
Really well done from Foot.
Jogamo's once again
keeping up with stuff.
This time with the spike, though.
30 seconds left.
Not an abundance of time, but
Oh, he missed.
first shots go wide. I don't know how he's still alive. Seeing one drop, looking for
He
anything he could
missed.
find, and it was just too
Looking
much.
like me
Ryan
playing.
Flawless comes through for Foot.
There's that answer from Foot right out of the timeout. And they go for setting up at a captain in main. And it works so well. The flash was brilliant.
That flash, though, was nuts.
Grab well at that current moment, the second flash as well. So well done. And I think that is definitely a second birth here in this first half. And it actually has prompted a switch from EG. The Calm Viper Wall is on this B side now, trying to counteract that A main pressure that we just saw from Foot, and they're going for it again.
They're behind the wall. I don't think they know. There's the first flash. Oh, did he
He
turn
does
that?
two?
Come on, son.
He does two there?
What are you talking about?
I thought he was a dead man walking.
And that's why the desk was talking about how important he is for this team in the
Oh my.
with the Trailblazers stunned. Spectacular.
I mean, some beautiful adjustments on the other side of the timeout. And an opportunity to pile it on even more.
And
It's
funny
like
too, 'cause that
Bloodborne
guy-
with a
the call
but
from
with a
EG was
Pinocchio
really
twist,
good.
huh?
Just go right back
A
to something
Pinocchio
that will
twist?
counteract that B main pressure that you just did, knowing that it worked, and calling your bluff to say you're gonna do it again. Let's try to counter it. It just completely falls flat.
Demon 1 going forward by himself, still finding the kill on the cracks. Now with 15 HP, looking for anything else he can possibly find.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and when you're that weak, the classic from that distance will clean you right up.
You saw they called it out.
Yep.
It's just jumping while he has a Vandal with a classic. I mean, that second shot did save this round. Thank you for giving it a second time, because just disgusting.
It was that good. Worth the second look for sure.
They need to continue pumping that gas. Specifically out of captain on that B main pressure.
There it is.
And I respect this decision right here. Get another timeout in because the money is low. This could start to spiral out of control despite being fully in your control for the most of this half.
We love the Jogfather. What the fuck?
The Jogfather.
The concept itself sounds a bit weird, but seeing it is really interesting.
Congratulations.
I do think it's interesting to see the timing on Potter's timeouts. Remember, when Foot first called their timeout, it was what, 5-1, 6-1, something like that. Like, guys that let it go for a little while. Potter just off of 2 rounds instantly sees something, decides to call the first timeout.
Well, I think especially actually seeing what guys decides to go for is very, very important. Because now you see, okay, with the adjustment of the game plan for him, and you really can start to adjust much more accurately, I think, if you're Potter. Knowing that those plans are definitely possible, but you see the lean and you start to see, okay, what are the possible variations from that? Potter is very, very good at those situations. Curious what Foot decides those variations and which ones they'll go for. Right now, though, the eco that I was mentioning. Look, 3 stingers, they have the knives from Demon 1, they have the showstopper too. I mean, there's so many tools to win this round.
Get out of my way.
The question is, what do they choose to invest? You've already got the blades out for Demon 1.
And remember, Demon 1's blades are insanely good. We saw a few highlights of them, but this guy, whenever he pops the knives, he's good for 1. At least.
It's been off of plays like that he's just won over the hearts of so many. But now on the international stage, the heat's turned up. Just a bit. Can he handle it? Kiwi with the op, holding mid. Trailblazer, he waits. Dashes away. Oh, that Trailblazer's still coming, man.
That's such a big range. And that recall as well, very good to disrupt his angle. It gives this time for that Trailblazer to actually close the distance, but nobody peeked him too when he held the shot.
You saw the ping on the minimap from Foot. I think they may have seen Khan there. And the flash confirms it, yeah. So the EG with a little over 40 seconds left in the round. They have some presence mid, but they want to double down on this A site, and they're going to invest so big, and the fuse is instantly extinguished.
Sprayed through before he even peeks his head past that smoke.
Here the camp
Wow.
continuing to push forward. Boostio on Explorers for the mission to find some space, and he cannot. Demon 1 tucking in his smoke. He goes back up high, and every single blade misses.
He misses every single one.
That's another round for Foot.
Both the Jets with the knives going up high, not able to take down the players in front of him. And you just mentioned the pressure, completely different on this stage. It's a global event now. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
The timing on that was nuts.
And you can tell Foot was feeling the pressure in that round, but still, they did it cleanly. Again, that was just a light buy out of EG.
They invested a ton.
3 ults.
Yeah,
3
ults
ults.
that they
Secret showstoppers and knives.
Yep. They've kept the pit though from Khan. See where they choose to use that early knife from Foot, as we've seen a couple of times. Finding some presence A.
This Trailblazer's been so good.
And look at how early Kiwi has to give up the angle because of that. And Jogma fills the space behind it.
Yeah, it's really important that he does too, because Kiwi can just walk back up on top of it. The flash gets him in completely. But here's the reclaim again from Foot. They definitely have upped the energy in terms of what they're doing on the map at any given time, and that's why they really made this lead back down to 2.
Jogma creeping forward. The rest of Evil Genius is towards A, and the knife's gonna tag him. Oh, he tried clearing it.
Seekers popped as well to keep the split back. So Jogama, all that space that all that attention he just took, canceled out. EG has to call a pivot. Really late in this round, they're gonna go for a fake and then go for B split, looks like.
And there's still the Cypher utilities here. They've got the cam. The trips may not be in factor here. Oh, actually, it's up in heaven.
It's a B fake, maybe. But the smoke's going out towards B. The boom bot as well. They're going for a split on A late. Nobody rotated here, though. Out of foot.
Seesawing back and forth, and it seems like A is what they've set their sights on. The op from Kiwi still in play. Cracks getting another one back. Numbers for EG low, and they just continue to dwindle. Now with 13 seconds left, the spike is
Oh my
out of
god.
reach. They've drawn the line in the sand. EG cannot pass.
And it shifted since those initial rounds. From EG ending up finding so many kills, free kills off the sides of players because the strategy working very well. Now it's Foot who's in that position. So many pivots called there from EG. I mean, more.
They just did not commit, that's why.
Different ideas that you can tell were happening on the map at the same time. The initial clearance from Jogamo trying to go for a split on this A, getting knifed. The Seekers coming out to push him back. I think I'm calling a B fake into that A split, and it all fall down.
4 rounds in a row for
I'm
the
sitting on my
defensive right of
blanket.
the ship. For as brutal of a start as it was, the adjustments have been flawless. Op still in the hands of Kiwi. Here the Blades online too. Last round of the half, and an ever important one.
Only 2 rifles up for the EG side.
Yeah, we talked about it in the previous round too. Khan still has that pit. You imagine he's going to want to use it here.
It's tough if you can't get on the pit.
Yeah.
And they were doing that a lot in the original 6 rounds that they won. But they've shifted this Viper wall over towards B, like after that timeout, after they got punished on that B side. Great.
Damn.
Yeah, Kiwi is awoken. And Jogamo, who was such a pivotal part of their early success, finding the openers in the round, not able to find any value.
I'm cold.
What is that wall?
What is that wall?
Troublesome, but Ethan still from a distance with the Spectre getting the kill. Kiwi with the Blades not finding any value either.
What is?
And now Pit invested, but Ada Captain's behind them, and I don't know that they know.
Oh, he knows.
He did know! With the shorty,
He knew.
the kill.
Oh my gosh, hi Bear! 안녕하세요.
Boostio's not able to get in.
Long time no see, very long time no see. How have you been?
Fast. Boostio might not be a factor if they do just that.
Still so many numbers here for EG. It's effectively a 2v4. It's now turned into a 1v3. Demon 1 falling. Still an opportunity here for Cracks, but they invest this season.
Com said I'm coming at you with a shorty.
That's way too tough. Literally, you could just spam the Seekers as it follows up. So EG find the final round of that half, but it was a really strong one to start. But Foot clawed their way back, and now it's kind of more even.
How do you like Korea? Korea's alright.
On the attack side.
Korea's alright.
We'll see how things play out. We're going to throw it down to the desk to break down the first half of the opening map of Masters.
There's like some things I like about Korea, but then there's some things that I miss about the States. So it like, it evens out. Korea's alright. I thought you were really excited. I was excited. I was really excited to come and like move here. But now like actually living here for like 4 months, I'm like, it's high. It's mid. It's alright. Like, because like honestly, it's like there's some things that I do like about Korea that I wish the States were more like, but there are a lot of things that I miss about the States. Like the main thing, like some of the main things are like, one, I miss being able to drive everywhere and not having to take public transportation and being crowded on a fucking bus or on a subway. I miss driving. I miss my dog. I kind of miss my family, not really, but like I miss my dad. Not having to think in a different language is nice. I like being able to, I mean, I already think in different languages anyway, but like my Korean is very bad. I never realized how bad my Korean really was until I moved here. And I was like, oh shit, my Korean's bad. So I'm trying to study more. How is learning Korean? It's all right. It's just, my washing machine is done. I completely forgot I was washing clothes. But yeah, like Korean's alright. It's just I didn't realize how much I did not know until I got here. And then what else?
to not have to constantly on your defensive side. Instead, their emphasis is going to have to be on re-clearing.
The only good thing about Korea is I feel like I'm not gonna get murdered.
Foot is good on this half.
This is gonna be
Well, it's
very
nighttime here,
fast
so I might
up
be
to
going to
play.
bed soon. It's all good. I understand.
That second half.
It is 10 p.m. Almost 1. No, no, no.
12 rounds have
Yeah,
been
no,
played,
yeah.
EG
It is
behind
10
the
p.m.
Now Foot on the
in my
attack.
hometown right now.
That single duelist comp that
It
we
is
saw
10 p.m. So I completely understand if you're gonna go to bed soon.
punch, the same
Do not worry. It is barely noon right now in Korea. So
continue to roll with this comp ball.
yeah, but also like,
Hard is how this cipher works out on this attack side.
Yeah.
okay, I will. Good night for me. Thanks for joining just for a bit. Boom, Bear. It was nice seeing you again.
Cross and lurk up A ramp a lot.
Demon
I
one.
promise I'll start streaming at a more godly hour for you.
And then Orb provides a little bit more cover.
This is the tough spot when you're not running the sort of composition that EG was running on their attack side. How to get through this orb, because they have the double controller here. That could be reinforced at any point by an Astra Star from Busio. And the mollies as well from Calm.
I mean, they're really intent on protecting this area of the map.
It's nice though, very controlled. You just have to wait out that fuel, especially on this pistol round when you don't have 2 mollies, when you don't have an extra Astra Star.
They don't know that Demon One's here. He tucked behind the wall from the Trailblazer, and it was cleared out by somebody else. I don't think they're expecting his presence. There it goes, the first kill through.
Spike down
The
A.
flank is coming fast. Ethan is actually blocking it right now. And the wall protects them.
Flash.
Whoa!
Gets the kill off the spam.
Enemy remaining.
Demon One with 3 on the round.
That's kind of nutty.
Maj left alone. He gets cleaned up. Another pistol for EG.
Completely flash and just headshots him with a fucking frenzy.
And Foot trying to take advantage of the fact that they
Yay, my boba's on the way.
but they fought their way through. Problem is to follow up on that. You don't really pressure through B Heaven. You don't really add any sort of uncertainty to what the play is. That dog came in as soon as you got mid control, as soon as you pushed Demon 1 back. And you called it out. Demon 1 sneaks in front of it. Now we got this eco coming from Foot. Both pistols went to EG. Yet despite that, it's not like this game can balloon super fast.
Imagine they want to avoid having to use heroics off of a timeout to get back into the map, to get it back to be competitive. And it has to start here in the next round.
You think about it, EG converted the bonus. Remember, it was so many. It was 5-0 at one point.
No charges left.
Dashed through, but the flash mistimed, actually. So Kiwi could have got punished so hard there. And you see this time they actually do clear ropes before going up towards B Heaven.
Some of the Astra Stars starting to go down, making their intentions clear. The spam
What the fuck is that spam?
How much more can they find? Calm swinging off of the Trailblazer. Very nicely done.
Jesus Christ.
Some might say.
What am I watching?
So well done on the Ika. Second Prime Gaming flawless we have in this map so far. 1 foot in that first half here, EG, on a round that should be clean like that. Put themselves in a great position to, if they convert this bonus, do some real damage instantly.
They've done it once already. Gotcha. Let's see if they can do it again. Just a couple of moments now, and you see
Setting up
there's
Demon 1.
intentions of aggression towards B. Off of Demon 1. As you were saying, the Guardian. No damage dealt. Just a little bit of spam.
Ada Captain put down a star inside of that choke where Demon 1 and Busio were sitting. I was surprised to see him recall it rather than turn that into a grab well.
Yeah, I agree.
But because of the smoke went out on their side, they didn't really know what was on the other side for them. So they choose not to challenge, and might be the right choice. Especially seeing Demon 1 knowing he's not in mid this time.
That's a space that they fill. And they've already scaled so far up. There are 3 from Evil Geniuses here. But they are outnumbered.
This defensive wall really good at trying to prevent this split sort of thing coming in from Foot from happening.
Ethan with the peek. Suspicions confirmed. The nade to provide some space. And the satchel to help. Just plays around it so well. Another opportunity at a bonus for EG.
It's just so well played from Giacomo and Ethan off of each other right there. I know Ethan falls instantly, but Giacomo gets his with the satchel onto Kiwi, trying to play through his smoke. And then the nade as well prevents them from actually taking through that
30
space because
seconds
they
left.
could have just gone through A Heaven after taking down Ethan. If that nade didn't come through, that would have been the situation. Mr. Fallen has the sight though. And this is a very doable situation based off the minimap we see right now, 1v3. But you can tell how cautious he is in clearing right now.
Yeah, he has to be. Note 2, Calm is very weak here. Just 5
10
HP.
seconds
He's
left.
going worse right now.
Get some info. Confirm where they are.
Yeah, need to group. And all of a sudden this has turned from a very winnable situation while they're split to very difficult while they're all together.
Spam through the screens. No damage dealt yet. Fallen on swing. First to fall.
Ooh! Aw.
And it was almost outrageous. It was almost an ace, but Boostio saves the round.
But that is so important even
That
still
was scary on EG side, dude.
on that side. For him to be able to do the damage there on the bonus, because if they don't, then all of a sudden you're seeing them go for the same anti-eco. If they make that clean, they still have Spectres. They basically would have gotten a second bonus without that play from Mr. Fallen.
30 HP. He almost falls there. That was so close. But again, it's the same story we saw.
Let's
in
stay
the
the
first half, right?
11th.
3 rounds
It's the
solo
11th,
queues up
yes.
for EG.
Okay, so I have to pay for my phone
Devastating
in like 3
streaks
days. Fuck.
at the beginning of both these halves now.
My phone and my internet. Fuck.
This is map pick for Evil Geniuses. And we've seen it be very, very good from them. Constantly we've been talking about the threat of the eco here from Foot. 4 SMGs up. Just the Sheriff from Cracks, who is a demon with that. And I like what Demon 1's doing here, actually. Setting up Jogamo behind Flowers. It's maybe not going to matter. Given the positions right now for Foot, they're trying to find an opening, trying to find some re-aggression, but you can tell EG very, very aware of the situation in front of him. Calm's just peeking in mid with the orb to back him up. Multiple flashes already used from Ethan as well, gaining plenty of information.
And holding the space too. Of course, he gives it up as I say that.
Calm there tried to actually find a lot of damage with the orb coming up and the molly combined with that.
That's tough too because they don't really have
My
it.
boba's here.
I've got your trail.
Fuck yeah, my boba is here.
But can they
I'll go
convert
get
off
it in
of
a little
that?
bit.
Can they stabilize with the space that's been left? Kiwi up aggressive off the Seekers. Gets a kill up on Heaven, but Boostio trying to hold the line back by himself.
I'm sorry, the stinger is
Light
good.
that from Foot that seems to be converting for now.
30 seconds
This
left.
is now turned into a must-win situation once they get those first 2 kills.
What the fuck is that?
We've got a situation.
One enemy remaining.
It falls down to a 1v1.
Player standing.
Demon 1 not supposed to be here, dashing away. Maj with 1 HP left.
Camera taken out.
Cam cleared. Maj dancing. The pillar's there, and
Damn.
Demon 1 wins the round.
I go get my
How does that
boba.
fall apart for Foot? They were all light by, but they get 3 kills instantly entering in that site. Boostio not able to help his teammate up in Heaven. And then 2 random kills. How does Demon 1 get this? And then how's the nade as well?
Yeah, the nade was the most ridiculous part.
And it put the Foot players into such a weird position because you saw one was split from the rest of them. Maj had very little to be able to.
Ugh, they gave me an Americano.
On a situation again. Once they got those
Sometimes whenever you order
you're saying in order to win this game, they need
something
a round like that.
and you get, like, you spend over a certain amount,
And before that,
they give you something free, and it's typically an iced Americano, and it makes me want to throw
all of a
up.
sudden, you thought they had a chance to really call it.
It's like, thanks for the nice gesture, but bleh,
But remember,
iced Americanos
again,
are
this is the
gross.
first half that they found themselves in a similar situation that they flipped. It was off of a timeout that they were able to claw the first half back. And that's where we find ourselves now.
The thing is, though, they need to flip much, much more than they did.
So
in the
this is
first half.
this is the iced Americano that they gave me that I'm definitely not drinking because iced Americanos are disgusting.
2 rounds on this first map again. Yuji's pick.
This is my
How
caramel
this scoreline ends.
macchiato,
It's gonna set the tone for Loaded for the rest of the series.
and then my jumbo boba.
Evil Genius is opening match.
Fuck yeah!
Both of these teams really looking for that win in Foot. Specifically, again, the stakes so different for them. Not yet qualified for champions.
coffee.
When you spoke to the players coming into the venue, he mentioned immediately, yes, our goal is to qualify for champions. And that's going to take placing over 3 teams in Europe.
couple of dueling flashes traded across the middle of the map. No presence found yet. What are the adjustments off of the timeout? Flood is cautious for now.
Oh, they have put Maj in that position to throw those double
I'm mixing my caramel macchiato.
Does he choose to spring them? So he connects that one. And the interesting part is you have to be aware. Actually, I think he already used one of the cages, and Ethan, in response, uses that dog. Popped another one just then. So that threat already gone. EG doing such a good job just canceling it with just one Trailblazer. You see the difference in meta.
Ooh, coffee.
For both sides.
Ooh, that's really strong coffee. Oh my god.
In that position, right? You can refresh that wall at any point.
Right.
You
Oh.
can break the dog and then go for it again.
It's very strong coffee.
The cages, they're not refreshable.
Deep flash from Ethan from
I
spawn.
hate that Vandal skin. The Mage Punk.
It seems like Foot wanted
I think the Mage Punk Vandal skin is ugly.
Kiwi had contacted out. Eyes on top, hold the spam. He
Wow,
has to
they are
respond,
spamming
but
that
it's
angle.
able to get the kill.
Oh, how is he still alive? How is Boostio still alive?
Just 6 bullets left. Can he clean up the kill? Yes, he can. EG
How was
match
Boostio
point.
still alive there? I got flashed and everything and still got a kill.
Because Boostio, full flash, stays alive enough for himself to get the kills.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Just crazy stuff. As well comes position. They did such a good job holding him back as well.
Yeah, they did.
And it was again just a
But-
self-flash there for Ethan to push out of that smoke. Wow, the pressure was going in on Boostio. They called out that he splashed, and all of a sudden now, EG on match point. They deal easily with the situation in front of them. Hop now up for Demon 1. Knives, they have ults as well to play with. This has gone from pretty dire to just incredibly impossible from Foot.
In record time, and it doesn't seem like it's getting any better. Their star duelist is already done on the attacking side. What's the entry? What's the go?
They're going to try to contact through this smoke.
Remember, there's a gravity well just on the other side too, or there's a star on the other side as well.
Just placing down another smoke so you can end up going for a cross back if the info is garnered from the Foot side.
I need a
Haven't
snack.
really even recognized the fact that hit on the other side, that camera spots it. Demon 1 going for more. There's no teammates here. He wants to end this game.
Yep, he wants to make a play. There's the
the
gravity
contact.
well off of the flash. Lucio having him.
Wow.
That's all right because help is here. Jogma
Wow.
it's all onto Mr. Fallen. To keep the map alive in a situation like
Nice.
this, impossible. A Prime Gaming flawless to close map 1 for Evil Geniuses.
Incredibly important start for EG here. You're talking about
Yo,
trying to
why are they all so short?
for a team that
Yo, they're all short. The fuck? They're all tiny.
that they played. For a team that barely made it to this stage right here.
Nice.
That's exactly
Alright,
the sort
I'm
of
gonna edit
dominance
this
you wanna see
TikTok
out of them.
that I filmed. I'm gonna edit this TikTok that I
Excellent
filmed
start. You're at
for
13-5. Everyone
not only my YouTube channel but also TikTok.
It was a little close.
I filmed it last
In the
week.
first half, we're off
I just need to edit it together and then I can do the voiceover later.
There really was no bite to Foot's attacking side.
And I think strategy diff as well on a lot of instances. From the beginning of that game, you saw Jogamo very aggressive on some of the extremities to take down Kiwi. How much prep there was as well to know the positions that he likes to play. And when split isn't something that even you've seen much.
Yeah, no. And it's not like there was a ton of film on that, but you're right. And that just goes back to the DNA that we know exists within the Evil Geniuses camp. That's what they do, man. That's their bread and butter. And you see it finding value. You saw it finding value in the open.
Well, that's not
You were just
what I
mentioning
wanted.
Jogamo. You see it finding value on the defensive side. It was just a very clean map, all things considered.
We do have to give some props though to Ada Captain, who in my mind reinvigorated a very slow start from the Foot side. And I think very important for Foot to reconcile with that fact. Because it's something that you heard them talk a lot about after lock-in and as they headed into that EMEA split, was how do they start off slow and be able to recover that? And the mental idea of them getting tilted, them getting blown out of the game because of slow starts. It's going to be difficult for Gaius and the team to deal with that fact in the huddle backstage before the second map.
I believe it was this round you saw like a shaking of the head as they threw this one away. Either way, EG up 13-5 in this best of 3. Map 2 on the other side. We'll be right back.
Have you ever asked yourself after a bad game, what am I missing? Or sought help from impatient friends? Or browsed desperately for answers that only bring up more questions? Your self-doubting days are over with Discovery, the first game-focused AI. Discovery is trained on the world's leading esports athletes to be your everyday personal coach. That's right, Discovery can help you improve your gameplay by giving you tips and strategies to take your game to the next level. Get started at aimlabs.com/discovery.
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings.
What the fuck is this noise I'm hearing? What the fuck is that noise?
First of all, what a start. That's got to be a dream start. How pleased are you with that performance on Split?
Very satisfied. We kind of let it slip away a little bit in the first half. I think it definitely could have been more dominant, but you know we did exactly what we said. We're just playing like we do on any other Tuesday, just like a scrim.
Oh, well, I hope the win streak continues, and let's see if EG can close this out in the second match.
On a Sunday, that's right. I always love to hear from the coaches there, and yeah, it was a very strong start for EG. Some concern there for a moment there, Kukuka, right, for EG, but I definitely think that it's very clear. Demon One being here has just contributed a lot to this team.
You just want to talk about Demon One, is that right? No, but especially what a dominant second half. The fact that they didn't even let one round split. I love that Potter was saying, you know, it could have been more dominant. She wasn't happy with a 13-5, apparently.
Yeah, but still, it was a dominant game out of them. And I think a big part of that was the pistol rounds. Both of these halves, they started so incredibly strong on the side of EG, going up 3-0 after winning their pistol and then converting that into a bonus round win. And that's something that EG has been focusing a lot on, even back in Americas, where they're putting a lot of emphasis on having specific plans for those early rounds. In MR13, it's so important. And EG, that's one of the reasons it was so dominant.
And it's not only that, it goes both ways. Of course, you get the extra credits, but the other team, you're kind of forcing them of being in that constant situation of having to go on an eco round after round. But since you've secured that bonus round, and
I got very quiet because I am editing. I'm editing a video.
At least 4 rounds. So of course it builds up a lot to the rest of the half.
It really does. And for EG, beyond just miss rounds, I think what impressed me the most in their defensive side was the way that they were playing the flood retakes with this double duelist composition. I think they have a really good idea of what space they're giving and how to storm back in, because they respect Foot site executes. Like you were talking about in the pre-show, they're so incredibly strong and they have good ideas of how to set that up, but EG is good at giving that space and quickly flooding back in with this double duelist, with a nade, with a flash, and it's really well coordinated.
To me, it was a lot about recovery, because even in those rounds where they didn't have the first kill, the way that they had map control during the attack, that they were going for those late plans, the way that they wanted to work around the map, we saw it a lot on the defense as well. The moment to save the utility, when to use it, and how to recover the space, as you were saying, that you have given up, has been flawless from EG.
And that's really something that we've just seen EG just continue to develop week after week in the Americas region. They've really improved, but also the individuals have found those successful moments as well. One person in particular who's just in his redemption arc is obviously Calm, because he has been playing the best Valorant that we have seen from this young man in quite some time, and honestly could be the blue hair.
It could be.
Could be the blue hair.
Even before first few weeks of Americas, everyone was criticizing this guy for how poorly he was playing when the team was struggling. But in those last few weeks of Americas, into playoffs, he stepped up in such a big way, not just in his individual performance, but in adding a voice to the team, helping Boostio contribute ideas, and here now at this big global land that they've gotten the opportunity to come to, he's just continued that trajectory.
Jesus, the KDA versus Foot 3, that's insane to see. I think that also something that we need to talk about, that I think Potter was very smart doing, and something that we talked a lot also in EMEA, is the fact that when you win that coin toss, or when you have that preference to choose to be the team A, we're talking about the first map that you're going to play here. You want it to be your pick. It's not only about you know, getting the first ban. I think it doesn't have that much weight, but also thinking about that third map and getting to choose the side. It's so important to go out here and have the performance that they just had.
And that's always a strength for EG. It should be no surprise that they had great prep against Foot and win dominantly on Split, because in America's League, they did the same thing versus Loud. They're really good at reading into these vetoes and having preset ideas of where they're going to go and being able to counter-strat their opponents, which is going to be difficult for Foot into the rest of this pool.
They're certainly going to need to have to pick up the pieces here, but that, of course, takes us over before we get into our next map there for a little aim lab shoot-around. This time, we're going to be following Mr. Fallen, and, you know, to just continue to talk more about what Foot can do moving forward here, Kukuka. I mean, obviously, your experience with this team is unmatched. So what are you really looking for here? What pivots are you hoping that they make? Because we saw the signs of brilliance in that Split game.
Yeah, totally. But I don't think Split is a map where they have ever been comfortable. Lotus is complete opposite. We were talking during the pre-show about the set plays, how deep they can go into some of the rounds. And I think the perfect example was the last time that they played. They had been using the same pistol round on attack for 4 matches. And they mimic the same thing that they did on every single one of them to make Liquid think that it was going to be the same, just to play tricks into their minds. Be like, nope, now is when we change it up.
Yeah, this team is really good at, in these later stages of tournaments, adding new things to compositions that they already play. And the composition itself that they tend to run on Lotus is really interesting. More and more teams have started to pick up this Neon for what it gives you in the fast rotations in the mid-round, but they don't play it combined with the Sky. Instead, they play it with just KO as that initiator. So it really requires a lot of pressure on those Neon
I'm
and
not
KO
paying
players
attention at
to
all
be
right now.
constantly rotating on their defense, constantly finding new pieces of information, but they're so good at it.
Yeah, and now we're going to be moving forward here to Lotus as EG picks up a massive win on Split, 13-5, and you got to be left wondering, like, yes, EG had to have been prepared for this Lotus pick here.
Totally.
Which, you know, and if we know anything about EG, is that they do like to play against their opponents. They do like to counter-strat from time to time.
They do, but what I'm really hoping to see from them isn't necessarily some crazy counter-strat. It's instead changing their composition. They've been playing solo Omen as their only controller. No, I'm fine with the Jet. I do prefer the Neon, but my main issue is that they don't have a Viper. So on their attacking side, they only have 2 smokes to work with, and on a 3-site map, it means your rotations can be quite telegraphed.
Okay.
It's harder to
That should be
reclear
fine.
lobby or reclear
For now, until I do the voiceover, and then I can edit it more after I do the voiceover.
to allow yourself to pivot.
Yeah, I think that it's another conversation that we had in EMEA a lot, because you kind of want the Killjoy, the Breach, and the Viper, but you know you cannot have everything if you want to rely not only on the utility but also on the effect that you want to have on the map. You need to be versatile for both of the halves. So I
be
think
right
that
back, actually. I'm gonna
especially
use the
for
restroom.
Foot, it will be too easy if they were to encounter a team that does not.
I use the
run
restroom and put on my
I
fucking wet
absolutely
clothes.
agree with you there. I think if there is an agent to give up, I'm fine with letting go of the Breach on this one. I think Sky with a Neon is the best for having rotations and re-clear on the mid-round on this one, but you really can make that work with the Jet as well. I think a lot of what Breach does is that line control, which is really valuable, particularly on your defense, but on a map that can lean pretty attack heavy, I think having that Viper is invaluable.
Yeah, and also too, I mean, Viper has just, at least in the Americas, right? We've been having Harbor Viper like so much, but Viper in particular has just been seeing so much play. It's like, it's just great vision blocking, just great opportunities for you to be able to slice up the map effectively. And we'll see what we end up getting here, but no, we're actually going to be sticking with the Breach. Mimi, do you think that this is a mistake on EG's part?
I think it could be, but it also comes down to how much practice they have. Obviously, they didn't know if Demon 1 was even going to make it until just a few days ago. And sometimes, even if it's not the perfect comp, playing something that you're comfortable with, that you know very well, can be good.
I think that maybe that's the reason they decided to start here on that defense. We were talking about the attack and how everything is prepared, how we see a lot of 3-2 being done by Foot. I think that mostly if we're talking about preparation, it has to show here, and if they want to do it in the composition, they feel comfortable doing so.
But when we're looking at this, you have to focus on Foot's success in the past. This is their most played maps, 9 times in the EMEA League, 55% win rate on that one. The only teams that have taken them down, Fnatic and Liquid, the 2 finalists of EMEA, and Na'Vi, another respectable squad here at Masters Tokyo. This is by far their best map, but they have been counter-stratable in the past, and we know that's what EG's good at.
And I think that's the part that I'm a little concerned about, because we were even seeing that a bit during Split. You were saying it when we're off camera, it's like, man, a lot of, they're just being a little too predictable here, a little too predictable. Foot's gonna need to clean that up.
Oh yeah, exactly. And not only that, they need to reset their mental completely. The last time when they played against Liquid, Liquid performed a comeback after a 2-10 half.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see how this plays out. Lotus is the battleground. Everything's set to go. Let's send it over to Doug and Paula.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy. Ball, we've got to talk about compositions. Yep. Especially because you would think that Foot were leaning into this map, kind of putting the onus on EG.
Yeah, 100%. Are you going to change it? Are you going to play something that's a lot of other teams are going to start to play, right? Are you going to run the Viper? Are you going to run the Viper Omen that everybody is running? Especially in EU, I think, really, they set the tone on this map back at Lock-in, basically going undefeated there, right? So the Americas team struggled to catch up, but I think in Americas we saw EG is the ones who are getting left in the dust in this composition. So I think the point that Mimi brought up on the desk about time being a factor, not knowing who's playing, not knowing how much time you have to get Reformed or Demon 1 up to date on whatever changes you might have made, it's very important. So I love that Foot bring us here, and now we get to see whether we have a revitalized Lotus from EG, even with the same comp. Because otherwise, you might see us going straight towards pro. You might see that same situation. It's actually a reverse. While we see this technical pause come up, it's a reverse of what we saw in Split, right? We saw Foot running that kind of off meta, the Cypher, no Viper type of situation.
Yeah.
Now here, EG is the ones who are in that situation.
Yeah, where they're not running something that's necessarily meta or just trying to pave their own path, right? But to go back to the point you were making earlier, as we figure out what's going on with this tech pause, once we get info, we'll get you all informed as to what's going on and hopefully get back into the action as soon as possible. But to go back to what you were saying earlier, it's not like EG play this map very often. It was interesting to see the stats of rounds played for Foot versus EG. I mean, it was night and day. We're talking about near 100 rounds for Foot. Meanwhile, for EG, it was maybe 10, 15, something along those lines. I am being told very quickly that the tech pause issue is due to a mouse, but it's over. So we should be getting back into the action as soon as possible. I love this crowd, by the way, man. This crowd is incredible. They've been so good already. It's just day one.
They're wrong on the answer there, though, Vandal, for sure.
Surely, right?
Back in the game, though, and immediately you see Foot's style coming into the forefront. Instantly going to try to get this plant down on this B site with the wall. Actually, just controlling Mound instead. The wall's not even available for Kiwi.
Yeah, and I think it's been fun to watch Foot play because at least at home, regionally, they like to test water everywhere around the map. They'll threaten some B, they'll get some info, they'll invest some utility, sure.
I like that they're playing with the idea of pivoting into Mound there. Already showing up some of the variabilities that you have with this comp.
And they're committing to this. Kiwi's already taken a decent amount of damage.
Nobody's
Flashed
out
up.
with him, though.
The dog took a bite out of him. He's done. Demon won with the opener. And look at how weak they are, but they are going to pivot. And they're going to pivot right into Boostio.
Here's Molly's on the site. 2 of them.
He had to pop the first in the face of the knife, so that's all he got off.
And they do break the second one, so they will be able to potentially get on the site, but Boostio's challenging.
Alarmbot's still there, and there it is. You hear it go off. Mr. Fallen committing to the plant, though, in the face of the spam.
Oh, that's a ghost spamming through that ledge.
That's a second kill going over for EG as well. Is this a third pistol in favor of EG? Yes, it is.
Are you serious? 3
Okay,
pistols for EG, but that shot from Chocobo.
I did my laundry.
That is nasty. And again, Kiwi out by himself. I didn't quite see what split up that hit. Must have been a
Oh, I'm tired. Okay, I'm back now. I am back. I'm here.
Follow-up paranoia as well.
Let's go.
And EG again 3 for 3 on the pistols. Causing so much trouble for Foot.
I think to go back to a conversation we were having earlier, I think it applies here as well, in that Breach is not something that you commonly see on Lotus, so expecting the timing...
Breach on Lotus? Hold on, wait, what?
Like can make a drastic difference.
That's the importance, right, of playing these off-meta comps. And switching up compositions as well, right? You break up the prep, and you put yourself in positions where the other team is not ready. They haven't played, they haven't practiced, they haven't gotten the reps of, you know, breaking a camera, or in this case, dealing with the stuns like you mentioned. A lot easier to deal with Breach, though, I have to say, than like compared to like a Sova or a Cypher.
Yeah, I would agree completely.
Your muscle memory is much more trained to turn a flash than anything else.
See the Alarmbot just on the other side of the smoke, but the knife once again catches him. Boostio has to give the space up, and Calm fills it. Very well done. Very well done. A flawless round for EG. Again, what's that, the third that we've seen? Fourth, maybe?
There's definitely some clean rounds coming out there. I love how Calm's able to tuck back and take the space as well, because in that conversation about like what you're used to playing with, you're not really used to playing against a KO. So Boostio's been tagged twice by this knife.
Yep.
And he has to fall off. Calm feels that space to actually recover.
It's a Potter's feeling it when she's saying things like that 2 rounds in. Just too easy.
For Potter, that's harsh. Jeez.
Yeah. Easy now. Third round of the half, another opportunity for a bonus. Remember, EG have excelled in situations such as these. Can they convert again in the face of Foot style of poking and prodding and finding info and utility everywhere around the map before deciding where they want to commit? It'd be difficult to do that here with how EG are playing this defensively. Look at how far up Demon 1 is already. Off of the Trailblazer, he's filled the space. Foot committing to C here.
He's getting the mollies off this time, though, both of them. The Alarmbot too, Mr. Fallen had to jump out. And won both the bonuses so far, EG. They give up the site, though. This is a full retake on the bonus this time.
Ethan still with 1 flash, and there it is. Boostio on the swing off of that. Cracks trying to hold them back, only able to get 1.
And the stun's so good from Calm.
And Maj and Fallen
find
themselves into 2v4, outnumbered yet again. There's a flank coming. Demon 1, Pacey dashing his way forward, dashing his way into his death. As Foot of Hell line. Can Calm do it by himself? Maj, 16 HP.
HP's called out. You see him jumping with the classic.
Time ticking. There's no abundance of it here. Oh. Is he going to do the thing where he taps and then falls off? No, he stays. Now he falls off, and time is short, but so is health. Calm has to go fast to try to get the kill, and I don't think he's going to be able to do it. Too many things to deal with. Maj gets the kill. Footer on the board.
Huge heroics from Maj. That retake was coming very fast from EG, and it was successful. But dealing with the flank, flicking back, dealing with the player, pushing him from sight. This is what I'm talking about right here. So well done from Maj.
And you can tell it looked like Calm was trying to start the defuse and then fall off the ledge. Saw that on TikTok, by the way.
He was looking for the defuse where the player's not watching the angle. Try to get maybe to half while he's peeking the other side. That plant is definitely much harder than the more open plant way further in the site, which you see other teams use.
Deep orb off of the nano. Little combo utility there, dealing some damage, keeping it back.
Despite that, Jogamos threw it.
Yeah, he was so fast ahead of it.
And it's not he TP'd past it or anything like that. He threw out the one way and just got in front.
Ran. Yep.
And the thing is, yeah, sure, the orb does break Boostio's line of sight, but now it's not up. Can he fight with it? At least spray for Jogamo to get some value.
Boostio finds two
Damn.
He sprays for himself to get value.
Yep.
That's through the Viper orb.
Look at Demon One again. And the Trailblazer mid. Should confirm a lot here. Boostio with the third on the round. Demon One with a bit of a sidestep, proccing the dash. Mr. Fallen's getting out. Does he re-peek? He does, just for a moment.
Gives up that he TP'd across, so Demon One has full range to actually go forward now.
And he continued to apply this pressure. Remember, we saw it in the previous round, and yes, he was decapitated for it, but he applied pressure. He bought time. It's a very similar situation here. It's not the 2v4 that we saw previously. Numbers a little bit more in favor of Foot. But perhaps a bit of deja vu.
Scary moment there, but they do have waterfall control and it's smoke down. They're looking for a kill anywhere they can get it. It's going to be through spawn.
Oh, they're playing so far back.
This fault line is going to be so good.
One of the two flashes that he has, but now they're both gone. Ethan feeling the pressure, dropping the flash to stay alive while Demon One is repositioned.
Again?
And I don't think that they know. They did. Kiwi read that beautifully.
Demon One started running at the tail end of that, trying to regroup and make sure that he uses the space that they gave while they're pushing into spawn. I thought Calm was for sure going to stun that line. Instead, he goes for a flash, which almost just as good.
Almost.
Either way, Foot really, really playing well in two situations that was a 2v4, I think, in this situation.
It was a 2v4 in the previous round, a 2v3 this time.
About to chug the rest of this coffee just so I can be done with it.
So masterfully.
Wasn't the same on split. So you could tell already much more comfortable on this map.
And that's certainly continuing to show. See Ethan up aggressive there, getting an early peek to try to deal some damage.
I should get a planner from Daiso.
Weaponry brought into this one.
That was such a random thought to have, but it was true. I should get a planner from Daiso tomorrow when I go to work. Because I'll be next to Daiso. I should get a lot. I should make a thing. I should make a list for stuff I need at Daiso.
Looking for picks instantly, especially with that Viper wall, and especially with the fact that it's an eco Calm. Probably isn't going to go for the stun to take aim control.
Oh my god.
Do that. There's plenty to pivot off of for Foot.
The panel's still up behind them, but off of the tap of the door, Jogamo invests smokes towards A. There it is, now he goes. Now overdrive used, dashing his way forward. In the face of the paranoia, swinging around the turret was not enough to dissuade. And now Jogamo with, again, just the Sheriff. Trying to play spoiler, but he's getting flanked and he has no idea. Maj is behind him, yes, Jogamo gets one. I thought he was gonna get the second. Demon One left alone, Demon One cleaned up, and another round for Foot.
And the first lead in the series for them. Instantly taking advantage of some of these ideas. And the differences in the composition too. Instantly pushing out a main there. Not worried about that pressure that could come through it as well. Popping the overdrive on the anti-eco. It's a very formidable weapon in that case. Flags flying high.
That looks like they're having fun too, man. That's a rowdy bunch.
I love the Foot watch parties. We saw so much of this.
Do you now? that spam coming through. Speaking of the spam coming through, it's an Odin in the hands of Jogamo.
The overlaid. Jogamo trying to get through that wall as well with the Odin. It's not something that actually many of the teams are picking up, despite the fact that very, very, very solid tool on this map.
Especially in this position right here.
Yeah, paper walls.
Off of the orb tap, off of any presence sorts panel, you can spam right there. And that's what it seems like. That's where they're headed. Boostio keeping him back for now. Jogamo trying to swing out as well. You can see it, but Boostio may hold the line by himself. There's the spam that we were just referring to. In the face of the lockdown.
Damn, Boostio, get your waist, dude.
Maj in an impossible situation, and the very first ace in Japan goes to Boostio. Go on, son, stand up, pop off.
Huge round. I mean, that was a Kiwi cosplay from last round, the overdrive. But Boostio just shuts it down. And again, you're talking about that Odin spam. Look how
I'm so tired of my fucking mother acting like she knows everything when she doesn't.
Absolutely.
I love Potter.
That'll send a chill down your spine, right back into the action, tied at 3 apiece. Foot exploring C.
Just reminds me of the situation that EG got when they qualified for Tokyo against Cloud9. Was constantly chasing moments like that. Aces. Over and over. And magic from the team. Ooh, trap play.
Under, and they swing out behind it. But keep an eye. Mr. Fallen ulted, and he got behind him. He's able to get one. Very well set up. Courage to hold that ult. Captain getting another one. Through the noise, Foot find themselves up in numbers, and they've invested the pit. What can Demon 1 and Ethan do? Ethan with 2 flashes here, no dog to clear the pit, and Demon 1 with an op. You've got some money, you've got some options. Good first, second shot rattling off.
Yeah. Nothing found with that, but it does put Ethan in a position to backstab when I think they might.
My mother.
Money's low for Foot here. Oh, he did
Oh, he saw him. He peeked out from there.
Love that from Ethan as well, flashing inside of the pit. That normally is cues for them to swing out of the pit. And you saw it for a second, but he got blind. That's why he had to go back in. This is well considered from Ethan. And also you can tell, EG never giving up, right? Obviously they go for the save here, but they look for a little bit more damage. They look for mistakes being put out from Foot. They didn't get too many.
No, but you're right. They do like to play on razor-thin margins, right? Min-max as much as they can. And yeah, that comes at risk, right? That comes at a cost. It's a gamble in a sense, but well handled.
Think back to the original
Okay.
plan in that round.
I'm finally done with my coffee. I can have my boba. Yes.
They just were so focused on their own idea that they forgot about the TP. And the killing blow was that paranoia from Mr. Fallen from that position. It was much, much better than any line you could have normally.
Nearly parallel lines. Dissecting A for now. See Kiwi's wall go down.
I thought for a second he was going to rely on that geometry of the door opening for him to get an angle on side of root. He's going to do it. With the dog coming through from Ethan as well, he's looking for that shot on the root.
Nothing found. But the idea there.
I mean, you can tell how slow that is, though, to react to. It's very, very simple, but if you're caught off guard, could have been an easy kill. They're going to look for that split again. Remember that time? Use that K lockdown. Big dink coming out from Jogamo, tapping the door as well. It's only Maj who showed himself.
Gonna clear the panel. It seems like they're going to split towards B. Jogamo having to give some of the space up. Takes a step back. Waits for help. And Calm is close by. Question is, when does Kiwi go? Because he's right up there. A clean shot out onto Calm. But Boostio trading it back.
Counter lockdown as well. Look at Demon 1 on the lurk with his hop.
There it is. Value found. Cracks, though, keeping him back. Oh, he's blind.
Oh.
Opts for the classic. Tries to get the kill, but no. Cracks cleans it up.
Can he get half in this position while he's reloading?
He does. The flash there pushes him off. Giacomo respecting the utility. Into the smoke.
Wow.
Giacomo!
It's happening again for EG. Tie it up instantly.
Fucking Odin.
They go down 2. They
Stupid
say
ass Odin.
absolutely not. This Odin comes out and it's been a
Hey, yo,
thorn
what's
in
good,
the
Dan?
side. And it's something that they've dealt with. They've had to fight against Fnatic. Who've gone over and over with this idea of this Odin.
Don't
being
me, I'm
so
just
good on this map.
shaking my boba.
Especially with the double controller on the other side too. You have 2 walls that you're spamming through. Anyway, Hop's still up for Demon 1. You saw him.
Oh, boba, how I've missed thee.
Got calm, set up in a position.
Not had it in a month,
Yep.
if not longer.
And there it is. There was a flash. There was a fault line set up. So beautiful played from EG.
And that's the first time they've actually gone for that A main control with the stun, but Demon 1 does fall, trying to get out of that panel.
Can they scoop up the op? Giacomo dealing some, receiving some damage from the spam.
That little pause there from Ethan with the Trailblazer.
They found a lot of space here. What can Busio do to hold them back? Nothing. That's another snapshot out from Cracks.
And both the smokes are already down as well, so they can get on site right now.
Captain has scooped up the op. That was dropped by Demon 1. And he's the one.
Oh my god, I finally figured out what I'm doing for my vacation. Holy fuck.
Looking to find the space. And he has no. Oh, that was so close.
What a turn.
Will I finally be able to buy my new Apple Watch? That would be great. I've been wanting a new Apple Watch for like 3 years.
They're aware of the situation.
Trying to fill in behind it. Ethan looking for the first target. And the Molly's not going to deal any damage. He's able to be above it, and they have no idea!
Wow.
Another clutch!
Wow.
Just on top of the box. They're still scratching their head about that one because they're communicating right now. Though the volley, it hit for sure. I was just looking at the smoke. There's no way I could miss that. But just sits on top of the box, takes no damage from it. It's a clutch from Giacomo again, by the way.
Wow.
I'm doing great. That's great.
Yeah, we said the same thing, bro. Wow.
Just playing some DBD. Ew.
See the lead switch.
My PC hates
Actually, the
DBD.
first lead swap that we have all series long.
Remember in the previous round, it was aggression towards A main, this time towards C.
I'm waiting for this game to finish so I can watch the next game because the next game is actually a team I like. Do not care who is here.
Especially with the
I
paranoia.
do not care.
Are they going to swing off the Trailblazer? Yeah, they are. There it is. The but Demon 1 gets caught on the wall. Still pushing forward, but that should give Foot a window to get out. But can Busio hold them back himself? They've got him trapped. There's nowhere for them to go. Busio,
Wow.
such
Wow.
a dangerous position. And he gets 2.
He gets 3.
Busio finds it. Not able to
He
convert on
gets
much more, but
4.
from the graves, he brings Mr. Fallen down with him.
Wow.
So it's the same situation as the Ace 2, just one short though. But they control it, and they corral the spike into B main.
That is
Well,
nuts.
there's very little to do.
What a trap play. Again, nowhere for Foot to go.
Remember, the first initial play did not work. They get the paranoia off, they go for the dash. Demon 1 misses it, and Foot just fall back, but they fall into Boostio push.
That just goes to show, again, the layers to these traps, right? There's not just one to it. It's not just all riding or dying on Demon 1 finding the space.
Yes, Boostio making a play in the second shot.
Yeah, that's just dumb.
Jesus
This
Christ.
third one's dumb too, bro.
Stun.
Yeah.
Again, our reaction as well.
Potter. Potter.
No
I love Potter. I love her so much.
But continuing to go forward. Kiwi has the ult. We saw this orb, and it was previously combined with an Nano. This time, just the orb. Just pushing him off the angle.
Insta lockdown? Are you serious?
That is early.
I mean, especially with the info that Ethan's dog is getting right now. Gets it off before he gets suppressed.
It was the knife, and then it was the ult. You're absolutely right, but they invest the overdrive. Boostio tucked, and again, value for Boostio. Not able
what
to get any more
the
than that,
fuck
though.
am I watching?
Pushing the lockdown to break it.
They're
Oh, they
trying.
broke it,
Numbers
though.
still for Foot here. They've taken the space, but it's going to be a two-man flank.
Someone,
Should
Captain's
know.
1 HP, dude.
2v4 now. Demon 1 and Ethan. Can they do it on their own? Can Ethan do it on his own?
Love you.
No, he cannot. A great response from Foot.
The speed and the reaction there from both sides. I love that Boostio falls back, instantly pops the ult before the null command comes in, really expecting that. And then Foot to continue on and push forward into spawn instantly. Such a response. I mean, you saw an opportunity there for Boostio for sure to go for 3 and maybe go for the trigger discipline too, but chooses not to. Instead, maybe as well thinking that Kiwi is going to be way ahead of his team, and he was.
I don't blame him. It's a tantalizing temptation to see a Neon dash across your screen like that. I get it. I totally get it. EG still hanging on to a lead. A narrow one at that.
Oh, he's spotted.
He's so done.
Yeah.
No way for him to get out of that, but off of the paranoia. Jogamo looking to apply pressure. There's comm utility here too, as both go tit for tat. Numbers for Foot though.
Second flash there from Calm was good, but they really, really needed to find the kills with it. And I think understanding that, that's why both players are now down. No choice for discipline in that situation in the final round. Ethan has been playing really well around the Viper pit.
He's in the lockdown, looking to see if he once again can play on these razor-thin margins. Indecision.
All good. All good.
Folks, that was so close.
All good.
Trailblazer, one of the last bits of utility he has the flash. Boostio's here too, who is having himself an outrageous half, by the way.
This is much harder to deal with. They know where both sides are, and they're also cut off from finding any entrance. Whereas that last pit was much more on the platform. There's the flash for Boostio to go, though.
He's just trampling his way forward, and he gets one. But that's all it is. Can Ethan clutch this out?
Rip.
Spam not gonna land. 3 for Captain and a 6th round for Foot.
This game is very, very back and forth here on Lotus. And EG dealing with a formidable Lotus from their opponents right now. Foot with the reactions, very, very strong.
This was such a good half, man. We had clutches, back and forth, a 6-6 half, multi-kills. Freaking Boostio's 21 and 10 at half. Golden Boy, what do you think about that? 21 and 10, is that good or what?
I mean, I think it's pretty good.
Okay.
Boostio's having himself a darn good time out there, and actually, he gave us an early Verizon high-speed moment of the match. This is actually that ace that we had, and I was screaming for the ace the entire time, hoping that would come.
I don't have a PC. I can play Steam games on that.
Everything was working in his favor.
Is why I play on PlayStation. Ah, I got you. I got you.
Have that extra support. I think he's gotten several kills also with those nanoswarms, and the reactions from him will just vibe, and same goes with Potter.
And it has been so insane from this guy and from Jogamo with his clutches as well. But the thing is, EG have needed those rounds.
Yes.
Thus far,
Totally.
it's been 2 big multi-kill rounds from Boostio, 2 clutches from Jogamo, where map 1 was defined by their preparation, their consistency. This has been defined by the individual performances, and really, Foot should be up more at this half.
Yeah, and I'm actually surprised, kind of like in the wrong way, because Foot has not reinvented the wheel with what they have been doing on their attack. We know that they rely a lot on the performance that they're going to have, but even though EG has needed a little bit more of those clutches, they have gotten the rounds. That's what matters. So now looking forward, thinking about their attack, I think that Foot is going to really have to come up with something different.
But this is, I think, the stronger side for Foot on the defense with this composition. You can get a lot of value out of this Neon on these fast rotations, especially when you're playing against this solo controller comp, which is way more telegraphed in these late rounds.
And not only that, we're talking about the clutches, we're talking about Boostio being unreal, and we see a Demon that is actually a little bit more quiet.
Yeah.
We need him to shine when it comes to the attack. We need him to be actually pivotal in the tip of the space.
And really, the reason that you're sacrificing utility in this comp to bring out that double initiator is to be able to take faster extremity control, to set up Demon 1 for these early fights. So it is fair to say that the pressure is with him, especially because when Foot don't have an op in Kiwi's hands, they have a lot of rounds where they're gambiting for space on the extremity.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and send it back over to the casters.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy. Yes, a 6-6 half. Now we see Evil Geniuses on the attacking side. We'll see if Demon can find a little bit more traction because he struggled in the first half. Just a 3 and 7 for now.
Especially with the Sheriff, that guy is on fire for sure. But it's important for Demon 1 to start getting going, not just for this game, but in general. I think, given how close the game is, he might be the factor that needs to be. If he turns it up a little bit, that might give him the edge.
Go back to that conversation in just a moment as Evil Geniuses looks to explore B.
That Trailblazer just got so much value because they broke the door for it.
Yeah.
So it went so deep. Self-stun, actually.
The knife, too. And you're seeing so much of this utility dumped out onto the site, and there's another smoke. Demo 1 peeking in front of it, dealing a little bit of damage.
Mr. Fallen's an issue here, though, because he's going to open that revolving door and cause pressure towards these players on the site.
Krax finding the first, getting spammed right back. Meanwhile, there's a fight at the door, and Mr. Fallen gets the kill out onto Com. How much more can they find to 2v2 here? Mosh so weak. They're both sitting on the outside trying to look in. Swing at the same time, Ethan getting the first. A weak Maj forced into a 1v2, tries to swing out, swings into his death. Another
Tries to
pistol
swing
for
out,
EG.
swings
All
into
four
his
at
death.
this point in the series. And while it might feel like they've been relying on them to balloon the leads early, if that's the win con, they've been checking that box over and over every single half so far. And you could definitely see, we already just saw the Ares picked up actually on the second round here of this half.
That's so good.
We often say this game is decided on confidence, and well, he's feeling it. I love this trap setup. The flash pops over the Viper Wall, and they can swing through it.
And the Neon is on the backside of this too. It's not the angle you expect them to be in.
And there it is. They were ready for it, though.
But the range, there's nobody really getting info about how close they are. They have to just do it off of the Viper Wall. Fuel coming down. There's basically a timer because of that fuel if you're sitting in that pocket.
Yeah.
And you could tell EG was so far back it really didn't affect them whatsoever.
And they were so patient.
I do love the nuanced approach to the KO though. So good.
Flash, does he molly off of that? No, the Trailblazer applying some pressure though.
They smelled the stack here.
Yeah, they did. And Busio was able to get a little bit of space mid too, so they can just break the panel, go through that, not even bother with the fight.
I'm committed to fighting this though, and he's trapped against 3.
Trapped against 3, but he's got a Bulldog in hand. It is just pistols on the other side, and well, the pistol proved to be just what was needed. Switching things off, handing it over to Krax. Just one weapon in their hands. Add a Captain Weak. Jogamo finding some span, getting the kill out onto him. Marshall finding value, and once again, we find ourselves in a position where EG may be able to capitalize off of the pistol, and they do.
And Busio again. And despite the situation losing the gun, they're able to pick up what they need.
Wow, that's nuts.
So once again, a big chance to the bonus.
So which side do you want to win? I do not care for this game. I care about the game after it.
And you
Do not care for this game. I care about the one after it. I guess EG. I don't really care. The game after it is DRX, and I want DRX to win, obviously, because I'm a DRX fan. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't really care about this game. I'm waiting for the next game.
This isn't like a one-off thing for Busio.
It's really been towards the tail end of the split, and now coming into Tokyo as well. In playoffs, he was, I mean, just another.
Gotcha. Yeah.
He knew he had that potential in him. Well, I mean, he's first. He's first in.
You can tell when I'm not interested in the game because I'm watching TikTok.
Almost finding the kill, but well done. Beat him and one to trade back.
They're stunning for the KJ pushing spawn. Come on, man. And that's what it is. That confidence you're talking about, they've given themselves the sight, though, in a big opportunity right now, but they do lose that.
So what round of tournament is this? This is Masters. So it's like the qualifier for champions, which is in August.
Knew the timing, knew the pressure. Demon 1 backing on up, throwing it in reverse.
So it's like 8 teams, I believe, and they're playing for 4 spots to play in champions.
It's just a fall line. He's gonna hold it. They're gonna hold it the entire way because of all the numbers that they have.
So
get the defuse.
Yeah, there's 8 teams. They're playing for, I believe, 4 spots to play at champions in August. So these are all the people that got like 2nd and 3rd place in their playoffs like 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago. So they're playing for a spot of champions.
Let's see if Busio continues that same sort of reckless aggression. And it could hurt them in the long run, despite the scoreline.
Is it 4-2? I can't remember how many spots there are for
Time, though, when you're hot, you're hot.
for this.
And off of that, Busio once again first, but much like we saw in the previous round, Demon 1 close by. Alarm bot cleared.
4 spots, yeah, 4 spots for champions.
Off of the face of the utility.
So like this is like
Meanwhile, Kiwi is posted up.
they're playing for like champions as well as like to win this tournament. So.
And it looks like they're going to be pushing right back into him. The spike is there. Jogamo is going to be the first. Demon 1 close by. Do they have any idea? Are they meticulous enough to check this? No, they're not. Right there. Off of that, the question is,
Oh, I'm actually just stupid. I'm actually stupid. No, they're playing for Masters, not champions. Well, they are playing for champions, but like also like Masters, because playoffs start next week. So these are the group stages. They're playing for 4 spots to be playing in the actual tournament. That starts next week.
So they have so much time to actually pivot into a deeper position. No wall available, no smoke either, so they can get off site here.
That was bold, though. Ethan Run almost paying for it.
They buy time for the stun to come back up. It just did. Now they can swing off of something.
What other utility do they have? Nothing for Ethan. Just the Phantom.
Aftershock available too.
Cheeky flash. But Ethan falls. That's a 4K for Kiwi. Potential at an ace, but Calm in the clutch.
Ooh, that was a really good clutch.
3 clutch rounds now from Evil Geniuses, and that's carrying them through to this lead on their opponent's map pick. And possibly a 2-0 in their first match here at Tokyo. That would be a complete reversal from what we saw at Lock-In for this team, and obviously this team has been upgraded so much. The focus that they had on improving over and over. The fact that they're here is crazy.
Remember, it was a knife on this map that punched their ticket here, and they're seizing the moment. Plenty of opportunities to do it again, though, as Jogamo feeling a lot of pressure. That high-low is way too much to deal with.
Remember, this team, we saw many instances of Foot getting advantages on these light buy rounds, but not quite able to close them out. On split, that was over and over happening. I mean, they were put in that situation so often.
Can they convert here? Kiwi has ult and has a Vandal in hand.
Calm's ult too, that's what they're waiting for right now. Could give them the sight. Busio's as well. Now they have plenty of tools to play in the post. But these Molly's not broken yet.
Oh, and they kind of have to commit here because there's no space B and there's no space
Oh
A.
shit, he ran right into that one.
They're just going to walk right into the setup that
He
they
gets
have.
caught.
Kiwi's caught.
And you have this play on the back. Yes, certainly 2 players detained right now. They're not able to punish. Demon 1 goes for it, but the door open and the flank from Mound too.
And the time is expired. The window's closed. Ethan falling. Remember, it was this lighter weaponry, and they've swapped the guns now. It's Krax who has the rifle.
25 seconds.
And look at how disciplined Foot are. Holding in Mount, holding in B, forcing EG to go into them. And that's exactly what they do. Demon 1 with 18 HP and 14 seconds left, forced into a surely unwinnable situation.
Oh, you can plant here, actually. Ada Captain's given up so much space, he's not going to go for it. Instead,
he went so far up. The clock has expired. Question is, who dies? It's Demon 1 who falls, but a thrifty round for Foot.
Oh.
They finally
cool.
Get it. Hunting for it so often. They finally get it.
Cute.
Can they hang on?
If only Zeta was playing.
Opening and again, getting up on top of that, being able to high-low.
Sorry about the long pauses between responses in a match. You're good, you're good. Don't worry about it. I understand. I completely understand.
He's the one who's forced down to just the pistols. No stingers, nothing invested. Wow.
That would be a terrible place to be standing.
3 pieces of util, the stun from Kiwi, the nade as well from Krax.
I have a pimple on my fucking chin. I need to go put a pimple patch on it later.
Not only get pivot back to this orb on B, but also get the space that they were looking for at the beginning. And Foot was looking to counter. And opening the door too. Normally this is followed up with a dog. This time Boostio's up before any other util.
They're going to split into this, but there's so much Killjoy utility here.
There's a lot of KJ util here.
They're not going to expect Boostio.
Second use off of the flash, but the shot not able to land.
What a turn from Cracks.
Very well done by the KO. Now off of that paranoia, Fallen trying to find a window, and he cannot. But Cracks continues to be a problem.
It's 2. Wow, and he's
Yes, he can. That's 3.
Jesus
Ethan
Christ.
swinging around, finally dealing with him. It was all an exercise in futility. We're tied at 9.
Wow.
It is completely unclear which way this second map will go. Despite the fact that we were late into it. Round 19. But we will get those guns back up from Evil Geniuses right now, and we will get a timeout as well. We see on the side of Foot a full house of those ults. And the defensive
Oh my god.
neon op. We've seen it.
Yeah, everyone on Foot has a fucking ult.
Against an NA team caused so much trouble. See if EG can handle it.
It's also just
I'm gonna go get a pimple
to
patch
go back
while they're
to the
doing
fact
this.
that we're sitting in a timeout right now. The fact that we've played 18 rounds and we're tied at 9.
It's not what was supposed to happen.
That we get, all map is just crazy.
First for both teams too.
So we're being told they're going to be calling. Both teams are going to be calling a timeout. So we have a bit of an extended opportunity to have a chat on what's gone on here. And I think, so I wanted to take a little bit of time to talk about Foot because, yes, they've been able to be competitive in this. And you just highlighted Kiwi won with the op. He's so good in that situation. But I think the conversation around Foot historically has been, all right, you know what you're getting with Kiwi, right? Who else can deliver that for their team? Who else can step up when their star duelist is perhaps not dropping 40 or struggling a little bit?
I think on that path here in the playoffs in EMEA, it was definitely out of captain.
I would have to agree. Yeah.
And we saw moments like that on Split.
Yep.
He is tied up at the top of the leaderboard with his teammate right now, Kiwi. I also look at Cracks. That guy has explosive moments, especially on those ecos. It wasn't the forefront there in that last one that they won. But he's such a beast in some instances. I think specifically, though, they have so many. I mean, we've already seen some of the trap plays that they're running with the KO flashes. So if they can continue to get success with those, I think is the key part of how Foot can actually take this to a win, take this over the edge.
Which is just crazy to think about that that's even the question. Because remember, this is their match. Historically, they've been very good at it 9 times. Just from the beginning of EMEA up until now. This is their 10th rep on this map.
Yeah.
They're comfortable here. And for EG to be pushing them the way that they have has just been very impressive. But you're right, now they're going to have to face, as we inspire the second time out, they're facing the 5 ults on the defensive side. So many options, so many tools for Foot.
I do also want to give credit to EG to make this map, like you said, a deal. Because Foot, again, experience, you said 10 maps. The losses that they have against Fnatic and Team Liquid, I mean, those are the first and second seed of EMEA.
Yep.
The fact that EG is putting up performances to match those, maybe not Fnatic, who got 13-1 against Foot on this map. But still, the fact that that's a possible scenario that we're seeing.
Both teams with a brief moment to talk things over and approach things with a fresh look.
I mean, shoot, that was a whole halftime break with the double timeout.
It really was.
They did a double
Plenty
timeout?
of time to discuss.
Question is always on the other side of this, what's different? Right? What's the new approach?
So nice here. This time it's solo lurking. They're taking mound control. They're putting a deep alarm bot. And Giacomo is not only breaking the panel, but also opening up the door. Full pressure on the A side with one person.
A bit of misdirection. Doubt instilled into the minds of the defenses.
And the problem here, too, is Kiwi's under pressure from both sides. Now the panel and everywhere else.
They're committing to this. Boostio's exploring by himself at C while the rest of the hit is A. Off in the face of the roll.
Wow.
Adicap holds the line. Cracks doing a bit of the same. And this has gone horribly asunder.
And that was a breach ult to push him in. They did already bait out one molly from Adicaptain, but the second one as well. Really allowing these guys to just stay put. Hold the line. Adicaptain stun kills as well. If he gets the op out, okay.
An attempt was made, but yeah. A prime gaming flawless round for Foot. And you mentioned it. It was off the Rolling Thunder, right? But the stun kills out from Adicaptain. I think he got 3 that round, and Cracks got another. It was by committee, and it was impressive nonetheless.
Yeah, that dual anchor hold. Negative point gaming flawless. Yeah, that first kill on a Demon 1. Again, for Evil Geniuses, oof. Demon 1 needs to step up here in the final moments of this map if he wants to close out this series in a flawless fashion like a 2-0. The bottom of the leaderboard.
Haven't seen him in that position very much at all. After taking Americas by storm, he leaves the comfort of his home and now finds himself struggling.
I mean, talk about a whirlwind for a player to go through, though, to get his passport, visa, everything expedited. You're hearing him travel across the U.S. as this hit comes through Kiwi. Get success with the op on the other side of the map.
And at the best attempt from EG, that's all it is for now. 1 for 1. Stingers in the hands of Ethan and Com, and a rifle from Boostio.
Yeah, but even if this does end up giving a site, giving a plant, you have so many tools here from Foot. The lockdown, specifically here in Waterfall.
Right on cue.
Jagama's going to go really aggressive here. He has a one-way that he can maybe keep fast and challenge Kiwi against. Oh, wait, whoa, whoa.
Oh, that's huge!
That's an op that can come through Waterfall as well. They're going to try to challenge him in the spawn, but he's already gone.
Tables have turned so tremendously. And now Crack's pushing forward, weak into the face of 2, but the kills have gone back and forth. Ethan with 6 HP and just the Stinger cannot deliver, but Maj can. What a round.
If he stays one more second back towards Mound, it's a different story. This defuse wouldn't be able to get connected with.
Oh.
But it's crazy because his role there with the Stinger is to do a drive-by.
Yeah.
Get back into that second corner that he ends up falling into, while the rest of his team stays up and maybe finds the kills. A big threat. But don't forget that last round was flawless for them. So despite losing a bunch on this anti-eco, Foot are still very much in control of the bank.
They're so loud, bro, and I don't think it's because of the volume. I think the place is popping. Another timeout called, 3 in the last, 2 rounds that we've seen, if I'm not mistaken, this time courtesy of Evil Geniuses. They find themselves down 2 rounds, and it's been 4 rounds in a row for the defensive side. What a flip. But the funny thing is, too, as we think about Foot on this map, a lot of their wins have come off of outrageous attack side halves.
Yep.
10-2s, multiple 10-2s.
Yep.
And for them to bring it back on the defensive side is just so impressive.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's been a close game the entire time, right? I think right now, if I'm in the timeout for EG, thinking a lot about how to get Demon 1 a little bit more active, right? The last one might have been a lot of strategy talk given that 2 minutes that we had.
Yeah.
This time, though, if I'm the vets on this team, and there's not many of them for Evil Geniuses, I'm looking at Ethan to try to really get his team, continue to give Boostio confidence, and also really focus on getting Demon 1 active. This series has definitely been rough for him so far on the global stage, his first time stepping on. But it's not just him, too. It's Boostio, it's Jagamo, it's Com, it's Demon 1. None of them have made an international event, a global event, so far in their careers.
See the line set up off the fault line. They swing through. And it's just going to be a trade of utility. First the Paranoia, then the Flash, and nobody can see a damn thing. Kills go traded 1 for 1. Presence still persists here. As you see Ethan grabbing the orb in the smoke. Is Mr. Fallen looking for a free one. Nothing delivered.
Slight arc on that. But Kiwi does take the space to catch the pivot back.
Off of the Seekers. From so far back.
And the Trailblazer, too.
Yeah. Hey, they got what they were looking for. They pushed him off the angle.
But look at the space with Jagamo. He's actually pushing the site with that Seeker.
The alarm bot gives him away. How much further does Jagamo go?
He's so fast, Kiwi.
He's scaling up. The op just on the other side. And the kill delivered.
Mosh dicing with death now. He's going to get one. Jagamo TTs.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? Looking to put it on match point.
The thing is, Demon 1 found so much space by himself. You see him on the minimap now. Potentially scaling up into spawn. The problem with this is it's just going to take so long.
I mean, yeah, but we've seen so many instances of the EG players being able to really pick at multiple sides of the map. So with this plant as well, you have no clue about the rest. If Demon 1 can find some way to get value out of his deep position and still stay alive to rejoin Ethan Lee.
10 seconds left.
Remember, he has struggled this map. He's struggled this series.
I'm looking at Mr. Fallen to, yes, TP mound instantly.
Demon 1, the linchpin, first to fall is Cracks. Attention divided as the approach from Foot is from multiple sides.
They've joined themselves kind of here with a crossfire and spawn.
Now Ethan 1 giving the space. Maj's timing is going to be tremendous if he can hit the window just right. Spike is ticked further away. Demon 1 down to 29 HP, eventually falls. Ethan left in the clutch. Can he do it? No, he cannot.
And the plant was good for him too. The idea there from EG definitely could have worked in the 2v3. But Foot, and as well for them, I mean, for them, they're the first Turkish team in 2 years to make it here. Last one. It was way back at Masters Berlin. The desk talked on it a lot. But for them, they have not attended a global event either. It's the same exact situation, but without a single veteran. These guys qualified through Tier 2 last year. They won that circuit for EMEA. One of the very few teams in partnerships to actually make a team from Tier 2 and keep it into the Tier 1 system.
You can see the setup towards C, but the attention is B, off of the op. No pressure, patient, wow. Yeah, it was the fault line, but there's no swing off of that. Now EG investing the lockdown. You can see what space they can find, what Mr. Fallen's gone hunting. The paranoia is great.
TP in from Jogamo. He breaks the angle. Kiwi did get detained up top though. Are they gonna make a push for it?
And surely.
Jogamo still has the flash.
Again, the window has closed, and now they explore. The flash not landing, but the shot isn't either.
Oh my god.
Splitting the uprights as Cracks does clean up Demon 1.
And meanwhile, look at the pit, look at the pressure through the door. The pit has covered the spike.
It's gonna be too much. Surely it's too much for them to handle. What can Boostio do? Another kill acquired.
I mean, they're looking for spam here. Calm has a fault line too to make it difficult.
And there's a flash. There it is, the swing. Boostio's gone aggressive! Boostio's gone aggressive, and he gets 4! Not able to land the ace, but time is short. Cracks with 3. Time ticking away. And there's no way that we just saw that hold from EG. That play from Boostio. What a lunatic.
He's crazy. And it's not a pop-off anymore, it's instant focus for Boostio. Look at this aggression. And we mentioned earlier in the game, early in this half, Boostio was going crazy, way overconfident. Now he's hit 30 in round 23. Now he's one of the only sparks on this team. And to win and turn a situation like that is crazy. Foot still on match point, plenty of time, plenty of bank.
But EG managing to break the streak. That was 5 rounds in a row that the defense had been able to put up.
And they're doing a great job neutralizing Kiwi. He's constantly switching up on the space that he's taking too, forcing him to retake with the op, and you can see how uncomfortable it was in that last round, missing that shot, and still able to push them back out of heaven. But
Oh, I'm so excited. I just need this place to open. They opened in 2 hours. I want them to open now.
There's a lot of defensive
I
pressure
really want it.
on the other side of the wall. What's the cue? Do they just contact out? It's the flash.
Wow.
It's a 3K for EG. The side is theirs. EG not done with this map yet. And unless Foot can pull off a 2v5.
I think it's an instant save here, Doug.
Yeah, I agree.
You've got the op in the hands of Kiwi. He's already tagged down.
Oh, I'm
You
cold.
got a Vandal for Maj.
Oh, I got the chills.
But the rest of the players who are in the grave right now, 500 credits, 350 credits, 150 credits.
They're broke. They're big broke.
If they don't save these weapons, you're looking at a possible easy overtime round for EG. At least a much, much easier one. Despite the fact that by situation
Broke.
to close out the map
Hello?
in a situation like that would be ridiculous. But both guns will get carried over. Giacomo, careful there. It's the Phantom instead.
We got to see what the buy situation is going to look like, because you're right. Foot have historically been very good in these situations, these light buy, eco situations, if you will. They've only converted, not like they've had an abundance of them.
But I also think that these situations where you have hero rifles, you have hero ops, are actually much more difficult to play with if you're those light buy players, because the situation is going to be, let's play this round normal. But you have 2 Spectres out. Can you really even afford to do that? Boostio with his KJ lockdown too, have to be considered. And we'll have that final timeout from Foot in regulation. It was so long until we got even a single one from both teams.
Now we've seen all 4. A pause for dramatic effect to build the tension as we potentially find ourselves just a few moments away from a 2-0, or excuse me, from overtime, or pushing ourselves into the 3rd map.
Yeah. Oh, what a way to kick off Masters Tokyo here.
No kidding.
The audience, the fans, we all get a taste of what it's going to be like for these next couple of weeks.
Oh, and then even just the international clash too, man. We don't get very many opportunities to see matchups like this.
I love guys literally drawing on the monitor.
He is literally drawing on the monitor.
But I mean,
Epic pen doesn't work when it's just a real pen, right?
My goodness.
Marry me, Ethan.
What a start. And Foot right now, I mean, again, to bring it back to that conversation that we're constantly going to have about this team and Navi as well in the group stage, it's super important that they get a first win, that they get themselves up already in terms of the battle between those 2 teams, because they're fighting for a champion spot with all the MEA teams. It's much more pressure on them than for EG, who obviously they want to get out of groups, but they at least already have another global events booked.
Kiwi has already taken almost all of A main with an op, and there's help close by. But EG choosing not to explore that way. The lockdown invested was same place as we saw last time.
Yep. Counter lockdown used, but that does still give up a plant. It's so far back. If he could have got that down in B-Link, that would have been different.
And you see the ping on the minimap, that's where they want to go. They're going to commit to this beat. Digging their heels in the sand as Jogamo goes aggressive on the ult. He's so far away.
That's crazy.
Nobody's heard that from that distance. And now paranoia instilled as they wonder where has he gone.
What the fuck? I look up.
Full blind.
Dashing back, getting up high. The knives don't land.
The running gun with the fucking Spectre.
And Ethan gets it anyways.
And now Jogamo appears. The early ult repositioned. A couple of bullets.
Wow, we're in overtime, boys.
We're going OT, baby. We're going the distance.
It's definitely a huge welcome to Tokyo. For everybody. That's ridiculous from Demon One. Full blind, 2 headshots with the spray from the Vandal.
And then instantly popping knives. To be that disoriented in that moment, but still have the wherewithal to know you're 2 off of the ult. Very well done. Woo, baby.
And Boostio, right, by the way, we're heading into overtime right now. We have a chance to see Boostio really push up on the scoreboard. Already dropped 30 in regulation. At this point, we're looking at...
He's at 32? Jesus Christ.
EG versus Foot, map 2. First overtime. And we swap sides now. Back to that attack. Remember, such good halves in EMEA. But the one here was only 6-6.
Far cry from their usual performance. The Demon One feeling it. Dashing away, staying alive.
They've got mount control here. Foot have the ideas. There's no flashes anymore from Cracks, so they can't actually take it, but they do anyways.
He's so pacey, he's so aggressive, and you're right, Cracks was close by. And off of that, Jogamo punished.
It's like Jogamo's trying to do what Mr. Fallen was by...
They don't have spike though.
For so long.
Yeah. Voltorb goes over to Mon. Repositions. The spike's still not hand, but look at how far up Ethan is. No
There's Boostio. Boostio's cooking.
So crazy. It's such a nasty off angle. You're playing in a spot that... Oh my goodness.
The spike is rotating back, and Ethan's wise to it. He knows. He hears it. Not it. Oh, he does land the shots with one bullet left. How does he get the second? He cannot.
No time to switch even.
Meanwhile, Mr. Fallen has gotten so far up into B already.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to get the package delivered.
But can they secure it? Can they preserve it?
Look at Demon One on the flank, instantly taking the space that he knows they have to give up. They don't know Mr. Fallen's position, but Demon One, with this information, he probably does.
Ult used. Demon One creeping forward. Neither target found. But a position for Heroics once again. An opportunity to right the ship. Mr. Fallen in the smoke, a 1v3.
Wow.
Nothing found.
Evil Geniuses, they fought back hard to make it to overtime. They take advantage in the first one.
Match point.
The very first one. Again, that angle was just so brutal because you can fall back into a position that Mound can't even help you. So the players who are funneling in, not only do you get a kill on the Mound players as they're using util.
Oh my god. The duality of man right there. Popping off as guys is just a blank stare into the screen.
Done.
EG in a position to close things out 2-0. Through some heroics as now you see Foot pushing forward A. They've once again put Kiwi1 in such an aggressive position. But you see Calm, you can see it through the X-ray. He's set up with the fault line ready to go.
Yeah, and remember, early on in this match, we saw so much Odin play. That's completely gone from Evil Geniuses. That could have punished Kiwi right there.
The deep flash. EG take A. At least stay main for now. You're still going to have to get through the alarm bot, the smoke, and the nanos.
The slow pace out of the side of EG might indicate that they're going for like an orb farm, which is really good on this map in overtime because you can get ults up.
How much do they bite on this? The alarm bot has been cleared, the door has been opened, and now the nano's used. This is buying some time for Foot to rotate over. Krax is here. Kiwi's still holding line, but they're gonna commit. The paranoia pushing him off the angle, flash on the other side, and now the aftershock. There's nowhere to go. You gotta swing out into your death.
This might be it here.
Numbers EG. The spike ticks. Krax swinging out of the smoke.
Wow.
Swinging into Calm. And it's all on
GG's.
He cannot deliver. EG Open Masters Tokyo with a 2-0 win over Foot.
It's quick, it's swift. And the miracle run continues. They're gonna go up into that upper bracket instantly to put them in a position to quick exit out of the group into playoffs. And the only America's representative to have that instant berth in the playoffs is Loud, EG. Putting themselves instantly.
Why is Potter taller than the whole team?
I've got to go back to what we talked about earlier.
Why is Potter taller than the whole EG team?
Not for a night.
How tall is Potter?
They wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
And now they find themselves
Oh my god, why is...
with the W.
I love it. I love that she's taller than the whole team. I love that. Like, yes, queen. Oh, pop off.
I think on the side of Foot.
I love Potter.
Really, I mean, especially before Demon 1 came to Tokyo, before we knew that that was a possibility. We're thinking Foot. I mean, they might be the favorites in that series.
Absolutely.
But it's not even Demon 1 who ends up being the key factor in that. It's the entire team effort, but specifically Bustio and his calling. That is the factor against Foot here.
His calling, his frags, 30.
I love Potter. I love her. I just think it's funny that she's taller than the whole team. Are they just that short?
I mean, Ty is the first bloods of Demon 1.
He was entering.
Jogfather.
He was anchoring.
When do Sin play?
Such a good story for this team. And again, the inexperience not showing so far.
No.
Maybe a little bit in situations here and there. But that's a fantastic start.
It is, and two, remember, Foot put together a ferocious comeback.
Yeah.
They had won, what, 6 rounds in a row, 5 rounds in a row, something like that.
On both
Inexperienced teams, they crumble there, right? They fold. And EG stays strong.
I'm just really curious now to see how tall she is. How tall is Potter? I gotta know now. Height. She's 5'9". She's my fucking height. She's my height. She's my height. Oh wait, never mind, never mind. She's like literally my height. That's funny. That's actually kind of funny. Damn, they some shorties on the team. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, Potter looks like a giant next to them. But Potter's my height. They're tiny. DRX is up next. Let's go. My boys are up next. I'm gonna go to the bathroom though. I'll be back.
This is Sadie. She's on Verizon, and she has the new My Plan, where she gets exactly what she wants and only pays for what she needs. She picks only the perks she wants and saves on every one, all with an incredible new iPhone. Get iPhone 14 Pro on us when you switch. It's your Verizon. All get
Hello.
Just picking up the garbage that I drop so that Yinsu doesn't yell at me when we change over hosts. In any
She'll
case,
yell at you no matter what.
she'll still yell at me because I'm going to leave the seat too high, and it's a whole thing, everyone. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the game that we just watched, because EG with a 2-0 victory manages to not only do it in dominating fashion, but it looked like they were having a pretty good time up there. And I think if
Okay, I am back.
Kakuka's having a good time, watch out for everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. On the other side, maybe a foot they thought they.
Oh yeah.
EG bringing it back. Also, they managed to get 4 out of 4 pistols in the match that we saw today. A very dominant performance.
Welcome back. Thank you.
Those first
I'm ready for my DRX, boys.
Defense left so many of these holes where EG was consistently able to find these lurks into deep positions.
I'm
but it
ready
was
for my
really
boys.
coordination from Foot, their individuals performing in those moments that kept them in it. But EG turned that around in the last few rounds and showed excellent mental resiliency. This is a team that went from being kind of the laughing stock of Americas in the first few weeks that everyone was doubting. No, it's because everyone is mean. That's because the community.
The internet is quite mean.
Be nice now. And I mean, this is the time to be nice to EG because they really have turned it around. They look incredible in this game. And like you're saying.
But imagine someone of my height on their team and they be looking like kiddos. I think a good majority of their team are children though. Or not like children, but like. Let me look. EG.
But I have no doubt that Foot
How old are you?
will find that footing. Oh god, I can't believe I said that. But they will find that.
Imagine how the rest of the year has been.
I know, especially because I just use the same generic phrases over and over again. But that being said, like, but no, they really are a team that's going to need to like really break it down. What do you see, I guess, for Foot that they'll need to try and like improve upon as they get ready for this lower bracket run?
Oh, they're not going to crumble down. I think that they're not the team that usually does that. They've been on this side of the coin many, many times. I think that they're just going to come back stronger. Of course, it's very tough because now one more loss and you're gone and you have to go home. And not only that, probably that means you also have to go through LCQ if Navi has
2000, okay.
you So of course the pressure is there, but I think there are
99. Okay.
It is a very high pressure situation for them, but for EG, they continue to
2000. Okay.
They've continued to defy expectations, to make it here, to keep going, and they just look
2000. Okay.
shoulders. And in this, they also showed their variety of play styles. They can come in with
2000. Okay.
on map number 1, punish their opponent's tendencies, and they can also
2002.
that they're less comfortable on, that
They
they're
are
not willing to
children.
play as often, still perform.
And I think that's actually a really good point that you make, Mimi, because that was a real sticking point for this team earlier on in the season was they don't feel flexible. They don't feel like they can mold themselves to their opponents. And this was an EG
Because they are children.
literally
They're all
just
younger than
that.
me.
So really, the sky's the limit for this team, Kukuka.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, having to play on the first day is something that not many teams like. It's kind of like the pressure's all on you. Many
And
people
first
get...
match.
Exactly. You're the first match. Everybody gets a little bit more time. You just got here and you have to do all the media and all of that. And then you have to play. Everybody's looking at you. Everybody's going to be like, okay, let's see if they change something. These are the first ones, how everything is going to be here. So, of course, it's something that not many teams like. But with this performance and how comfortable they were, it's going to tell a lot about how the rest of the matches are going to go for them.
And I think so much that has to be credited to the leaders of this team. In particular, Busio having a fantastic individual performance. It looked like he had plot armor on the Killjoy throughout this one. And he was still calling a really solid game throughout that. And I think it's in part because of the people around him. It's Ethan being an emotional leader, bringing the experience onto the situation here at LAN. And Potter as well, doing the same, helping them to come up with the ideas ahead of time. It's just such a different EG than we saw at the beginning of the year.
It's very clear, like, in talking to the players and getting to know them more as the split progressed, that this is a team that at this point now, they've realized, like, we're in this together. We're in the ride. We just got to find a way. We just got to make this work. And they are making it work. But not only are they making it work, but they're looking great throughout the process now. Of course, we'll see what FUT does as they get ready for their lower bracket run. Anything truly is possible here for FUT. And I don't want to count them out just yet. I do feel like we saw some great ideas, and I think that perhaps them being here and them kind of getting rattled, you know, a little bit is kind of going to, you know, knock some sense into them and get them ready for this next few games.
I think it has to for FUT, especially since you do lose on really your favorite map that has been consistently a home ground for them. For FUT, it's going to be a tough bit of time to turn around for this lower bracket, but I really think it does have to come down to changing over some of their tendencies. We saw EG punishing that with players in these forward positions that they were playing back in EMEA on Split on this map as well, always throwing the same utility combos, always having the same kind of early round tendencies that is just very readable. So mixing things up, getting a little bit more loose like EG was showing could be huge for FUT.
Yeah, but I think that is something that they could learn over time. Maybe they do not have that time because, as I was saying during the halftime, I don't think that FUT was reinventing the wheel and what they were doing on Lotus. They were being very repetitive of what we had seen on EMEA. So I just hope that they don't just keep thinking of what could have happened if they had gone to Pearl.
I totally agree on that one. Of course, we'll see FUT later on in the tournament, but the day belongs to Evil Geniuses. Let's go ahead and send it down to Yinsu standing by for the Ryzen post-match interview. She's got Boostio.
Thank you very much, Golden Boy. I am joined by Boostio here. Congratulations on your first win. 35 kills. Yeah? You're
35 fucking kills, dude.
Yeah, and the first ASE Masters feels pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like the last time you played EMEA team.
Also, for the youngest is at least 20, because my brother was born in 2002. But yeah, I'm 6'2". Dude, I'm 5'9".
Yeah, FUT's a really good team. So that one is a lot harder than Heretics. Heretics was pretty easy. That was a very hard match, and we just got it done.
Speaking of a hard match, at least in the EMEA, teams usually avoid Lotus when they play against FUT because it is their best map. I think maybe you guys kind of felt that as well as you were playing against them. Why did you float that today?
I think it was just because we just wanted to ban Bind instead of Lotus, pretty much.
Why did you want to ban Bind instead of Lotus?
No comment.
Is this a FUT-specific strat that you
for
wanted
us mainly.
Yeah, 5-inch difference, not that much. Exactly, you know? My dad's 6'2", so.
You were going to get Demon 1 on this stage. I think everybody was a little bit sad about it. How big of a buff is it to have him with you guys? And how long have you had even to prepare with him?
Yeah, so we figured out about 3 days ago that he was coming, or 4 days ago, so very little time. So we've only had 3 days of practice pretty much since we've been in Tokyo. And it means everything for him to come because he got us here in the first place throughout the season. He was with us the whole time. So him being here is just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, despite it not having that much practice, I don't think we could tell that you guys haven't been playing with him that much. But how much has that changed your game plan? Because obviously you guys were already ready to sub someone else in and not play with him.
Yeah, I think it did change a lot, like the last week or two. We had a substitute, of course, but this last week or 3 days, we just kind of just said, just focus on communication, just our defaults, just all our old strats. Don't really try to add anything new since we don't have that much time anyways. So it's just going to the basics pretty much, and it ended up working out perfectly.
I think in your region in the Americas, the Potter timeout, the Potter pauses, is a thing that we tend to discuss about. It's very, very impactful. I think we definitely saw that today on Lotus. Could you describe to me what kind of input Potter does have in those timeouts?
Yeah, she'll usually in the timeout, for example, will just tell us what she thinks is the best play to do in that moment with her ultimate.
My mom was 5'5.5". By the time I was 12, she had to start looking up at me to discipline me. It was hilarious. I don't know how tall my dad is. I'm also taller than my mom.
Overtime.
In overtime?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, before overtime, before you went into
the 9-12 pause was very good for us. We definitely needed it. It was kind of like we were losing it. We just settled down after that timeout and we got the job done.
Thank you very much, Boostio. We'll see you on the next round of this group stage. Thank you so much for joining me. We are going to be showing you guys DRX versus ASE in just a moment, but first, enjoy the Prime Gaming post-match highlights.
Competition around the world, we can finally say it's time. The top teams are ready to face off on the global stage. Americas, EMEA, Pacific, and China. Everyone is here. Hello, everyone, and welcome to day one of Masters Tokyo, coming at you live from the Tipstar Dome in Chiba. Two unlikely contenders find themselves in a collision course here in Tokyo. It's about to go down. Evil Geniuses versus FUT Esports. It doesn't get any better than this.
Yeah, he is, and he's going to continue to go forward, but EG keeping him back.
Blocking sight.
We settle into a 2v2, the spam from Demon 1.
Nice!
Demon 1 tucking in his hook. He goes back up high, and every single blade misses. Eyes on Calm to hold the spam. He had to respond with it, not able to get the kill. To keep the map alive in a situation like this, impossible. A Prime Gaming flawless to close map 1 for Evil Geniuses. But Boostio may hold the line by himself. There's the spam that we were just referring to. In the face of the lockdown, Boostio swings out and gets 4. Maj in an impossible situation, and the very first ace in Japan goes to Boostio. Tension and ace, but Calm in the clutch. So good in America, so good in Japan.
The pig!
There it is.
There we go. Sorry, I was changing my emotes. I did not like what my emotes were doing. It was fun when strangers found out I was her son because they looked at her in awe. Like, what? How the fuck did you? Yeah, that's what my parent, like, that's what people around my family does. They, like, see how short my mom and my sister are, and they're like, what the fuck? And then they see how tall my dad is, and they're like, oh. Because I'm taller than my mom and my sister by a lot. And then they see my dad, and they're like, that's where it came from. But yes, I was also changing my emotes because I didn't like how they were done. So now these are all of the emotes I have now. I should still have those. There we go. There we go. There are all of my lovely emotes. A lot of them my friend made for me. Hi, Crystal. Hello. But yes, a lot of my emotes, one of my friends from college made them for me. She's a great artist. I want her to make me more. I really want her to make me more, but she's been busy recently, so. But yes, those are all of my lovely emotes. I just got back home. I'm exhausted. Where'd you go? They changed the name of it to AS. I'm gonna stop stream real quick and then I'm gonna restart. Okay, because I need to fix the name, and I want to also clip this later on. Give me 1 second. Had to go grocery shopping and run errands. Ah, noted. When are we gonna go to Costco, Crystal? When are we going to Costco? Was it ASE? Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay, and then do this. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna, I don't know, it's been a while since we've had to go to the Ilsa one. I need to go to Costco. That's what I'm asking. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm gonna pause for, I'm gonna cut stream off for a minute, and then I'm gonna put it back on. Give me 1 second. We're back. Okay. It's for me because I want to like clip this stuff later. And if it's all gonna be in one big VOD, I'm not gonna want to do it. I do not like this music. Welcome back. Thank you. You play Youngjae. There we go. Just tell me what you want, what you really wanna do. But other than that, how has your day been, Crystal? It switched over, that's why. Girl, I need taco market sugar, babe. We didn't stop it. Hold on. Do this for a bit.